Hi, hello. Oh, have you heard that? That was some chewing gum in a box rattling around. Yeah. Well, it's me and two doggies today because family have gone to a 50th birthday party. So there will no doubt be interruptions. Rosie is actually asleep on my bed at the minute, and Trixie is asleep on the sofa. Hi Samantha, hi Esther, hi Connie. I am still full of a cold. I'm probably going to cough all over you. I cannot get rid of this, but still. Hello, the word true. Hi Nathan, hi Jude. Hi everybody else. I do apologise in advance if I do start coughing like a proverbial sea lion, but that's the way it still is at the minute. I've got the doggies here, so no doubt we will get interrupted. I shall probably have to go and let them out at some stage. As I said before, Rosie's asleep on my bed. And hi Rick. And Trixie is asleep on the sofa. And I wish she wasn't because she's in season. And I have got a velvet sofa. What am I making? I'm just making a little, well, it's going to be a dolly's jacket because it's so small for a baby. Everything I am making recently is so small. And I don't know why, because I'm not a tight crocheter at all. I'm quite loose, actually. But I don't know why everything I'm making recently is very small. It's just a little plain baby jacket top down. I'm just doing it in sort of like a velvety wool. Yeah. I'm just using oddments up. Then I've got to start thinking of little things. It's not that long actually till the craft show. So I've got to start thinking of tiny things. You know, more like sort of key rings or little things like that. Got to start thinking of things like that. Because as we've said before, big things just don't seem to sell, which is why I'm really not taking many big things. Hi, John. I'm going to take the that poncho mainly because it's so bright, it will actually attract, people to the stall even though they don't want to buy it. Yeah, we just have to have these things, don't we? And the mannequins' underwears are turned up, so they're all going to be decent now, seeing as we're in a Methodist church hall. They will not be showing their wherewithals. They will be wearing their panties, knickers, briefs, whatever you want to call them, and boob tubes. They'll be wearing them, yeah. Hi, Ethan. Yeah, the weather's not been too bad today. It's not brilliant. It's still very cold. And I know John's going to say we're waiting for the beast for the east because he says that. Oh, thank you. Thumbs up, people. Thumbs up. It does help. It does help, dear. Yeah, John will no doubt tell us the beast from the east is coming. So I believe we're supposed to be having snow on Monday. I don't know whether it's snow here in Fleetwood. We very rarely get snow, actually. Oh, you've got snow in Stockholm. Oh, my goodness me. Other people have got snow. I follow a lady called Erin. What did she used to be called? It's not Erin B. It's the other Erin. I can't think of her name. And they've had snow. It will come to me in a moment what she's called, yeah. I'm waiting for spring. I can't wait for spring. The beast from the north now, not the beast from the east. Right, okay, John. I'm just trying to think what Erin's called. Oh dear. Can't think. It's not a surprise my brain's gone numb. I've coughed that much. I think I've coughed my brains out. And I've still got pains in my chest when I move the wrong way. But it's not pains from a heart attack. Don't panic, people. It's just pains with muscular. You cough and you cough, don't you? And then you move in bed, you turn over and it's like, oh. But as I said before in my video yesterday, I'm not one for mithering the GP. He's basically going to say it's a cold that's gone on my chest. I know he is. I don't think I've got pneumonia or anything that dramatic. I don't like taking antibiotics unless I really have to, because when you really need them, then they don't work, because you become immune to them if you take them for every sniffle that you have. Yeah. I mean, the doctors are getting wise now. They're not prescribing them unless you absolutely, really, really need them. Yeah. So I try to do without them unless I have to have them. Yeah. But if this doesn't go away by Monday, I think I am going to be having to have words. Perhaps not with the doctor, perhaps with the pharmacist. Because I go to the library, as you know, at Knit Club on a Mondays, and it's not that far from the walk-in centre. So, you know, if I really feel that bad, I might finish up there. But I keep soldiering on. Keep soldiering on. Keep going, you fool. Keep going. Oh, dear. Well, one of my friends has been donated some wool. She may actually be on here if you're on here, Sue. So it's going to go to my knit club on a Wednesday afternoon, because they make a lot of things for. They have tabletop sales, you know, in aid of funds for the church. So I know that they will make use of any bits and bobs and pieces that she might have in a bag. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get a bag full. Not for me. I have got enough in my shed to keep me going. Yes, I think my wool is more than my crochet hook is. You know that feeling where, you know, it's taking over. You're crocheting as fast as you can, but your stash is taking over. Not that I'm adding to it. I'm being really good. I mean, I did order some yarn the other day, but that was only because I wanted to make up my order for knitting needles up to £25 so I could have free postage, because I'm tight. And Wool Warehouse offers you free postage if you order £25 worth, and the knitting needles only came to about 19, I think. So I thought, well, by the time I've paid the postage, I could have ordered some wool to make up the difference, which the postage would have cost. That's my way of thinking. I don't know whether you think the same way that I do. But in kind of my little tin pot way of thinking, it was like free yarn, yeah? Because I would have been paying £3 something for the postage, and the wool that I was ordering was about £4 to make up to, well, I think it was £5 or £6 to make up to the £25 anyway. So it was kind of almost free wool. That is the way my logic works. I don't know whether your logic works that way or not, whether you have to make up the money to get the free postage. I certainly do. Oh, you're back, Rick. Why did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go to, my lovely? Who was that? I used to sing that when you're alone in your bed. Wasn't Cat Stevens? No, it wasn't. Oh, I can't think. I can't think at all today. I really can't think. Who sang that? Where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Oh, it defeats me. Oh, you're lurking and listening. Peter Sarsted, was that him? Good, I'm glad somebody's on the ball, because I'm certainly not, yeah. Oh, dear. I'm certainly not on the ball at all. I've been watching videos today. Strange people. Oh, don't worry about it. We know who you mean, Junior. Strange people. I just got down a rabbit hole, you know, things I have crocheted in 2022. You know, when you go down rabbit holes of people you've never even heard of, yeah. The gist of it is they all made boob tops, or whatever you want to call them. Boho tops, festival tops. That seemed to be the go-to thing that people are are made in 2022 because there was like rafts of the things, yeah. People are dressing up as their comic heroes. I never really understood that, I must admit. I'm the wrong generation, I've said that before. You know, they go to town, don't they, on this Comic Con, whatever it's called. All getting dressed up, yeah. The sweater, it's more like a rusty colour with blue. I was just using up some super chunky I had, yeah. Oh, who can afford to go places these days? I was watching The Secret Yarnery before, and she was in Dubai in this absolutely fantastic wool shop. She was showing, you know, round this wool shop, you know. Not that I could have afforded it, you know what I mean? But if you watch The Secret Yarnery, if you watch, oh gosh, what's she called? Christy? She was in Dubai in this wool shop anyway, or yarn shop, as I should say. And it was quite a nice video to look around it, you know. I mean, if you're in America, you can probably get the wool that she was looking at, or the yarn that she was looking at, but some of it was very intriguing. It was all like loopy stuff. And I'm like, oh, what on earth would you make with that? I think probably they made cushions, maybe, or teddy bears or something like that. But they did have a lot of cotton because, of course, it's very hot in Dubai, isn't it? Yeah. So, but it was an interesting look round. I mean, when most people show me what's like in Joann's or what's like in anything, oh, hiya, Chris, they usually whiz down the shelves like so fast you can't see anything. But I'll say this for Krista, she did do slow, um, you know, slow pan kind of thing, yeah. The price of honey nuts. Oh, I don't like nuts, so I wouldn't be eating honey nuts. Yeah, she went very slowly across. I mean, they did all kinds of things beside the yarn. They did hair bubbles, hair things, tiaras, necklaces, bracelets, stuff like that. Very interesting, I found it to watch. Who loves honey nut? No, I don't know who loves honey nut. You're probably going to tell me it's Sheila. I didn't watch that video. I must admit, I don't watch her little videos or her oldie videos. It might be interesting to somebody who doesn't go in there, yeah. But, you know, for somebody who can go in Lidl or Aldi at any time, it's not very interesting to me to see how much things are that she's bought. I don't watch those videos. I watch her other ones, you know. Nothing against the woman, I watch her other ones. But I don't like watching her Aldi ones. Or Lidl or whatever it is she goes to. Yeah. You're putting together a honey nut why, are you going to send them to Sheila or something? No, I'm not a honey nut woman, I'm a porridge woman. I like me porridge in the morning. Or egg on toast. Poached egg on toast is one of my favourites, yeah. I don't know what anybody else likes. My son had made me some bacon, but I just wasn't in the mood. I'm not eating much at all. On your channel for fun, right? Okie dokie. I've actually lost, I think I've told you, I lost £4. It won't last. As soon as I start eating again, it'll come back. But I'm just not in the mood for eating. I only had one of the, I made like 2 slices of bread with bacon on it because my son had made me the bacon, but I only ate a half. The other half's in the fridge. Oh, hello, where's she going? Oh, little one's just disappeared. I don't know where she's going. She can't be trusted. That's the trouble with the little one. What are you doing? Eh? What are you doing? You being a good girl? You being a good girlie? I don't want to do any mopping. Hmm? I don't want to do, and your granny doesn't want to do mopping. She doesn't, no. Oh, God. Where's Kaz? Not here yet. I don't know whether or not she started a new job. She's got a new job, hasn't she? But I don't know when she starts it. She had her induction, or whatever you want to call it, on Tuesday, I think it was. But I don't know when she was actually starting the job, yeah. Maybe she's already started, I don't know. Because if it's retail, then, they normally work on a Saturday. That's the big snag with retail. That used to be a big bone of contention between me and my ex-husband. Because he'd never worked retail, so he never understood why, shops open on a Saturday. He wanted to shop on a Saturday, but he never understood why I had to work on a Saturday. A bit weird, isn't it, that, He wants to shop Saturday, Sunday, yet he doesn't understand why I had to work it, yeah? It used to cause no end of arguments in our house because he didn't want me to work on a Saturday. Yeah. She's been one of the long-time party animals. Yeah, I know she has, yeah. Kaz has been with us, as has a lot of people. A lot of people. We do have a lot of regulars. That's one thing about people on Saturday Live. You're very loyal to me. You're very loyal. You come on week after week listening to boring old me, and I don't know why you do, but you do. Oh, dear. You must have nothing else to do. Hi, Amanda. Yeah. This wool is really strange. It's kind of like fluffy and stretchy at the same time. I think I'm going to advertise it as being for a doll's cardigan, this, because it's very tiny. And I don't think a premature. Oh, thank you, Connie. I don't think a premature baby would want to wear anything this jazzy. Although you never know. You never know. I can remember when my son was born, they said, you need to make the nurseries very colourful because babies are stimulating by colour. And now when I look at modern nurseries, the mums are doing them all in grey and white. And I'm like, what's stimulating about grey and white? I always thought you needed colour to stimulate a baby. That's what they used to say in my day anyway. No, in a work Zoom call, you'd be allowed to talk, Rick. I can't work out the Zooms because if I do the Zooms, that means only about 9 or 12 people could be on it. Otherwise, it just gets silly. Yeah. I have been on a Zoom call where there was about 12 people and it got silly because people were trying to talk and everybody was trying to talk at once. And it just got, and like the same people were talking over and over again and other people couldn't get a word in edgeways. Yeah. So I decided not to even try doing Zoom calls when there's so many people on here. I'd be looking at a sea of faces, wouldn't I? Or in most cases, a sea of nothing because nobody wants to put the face on, yeah. Schema or systematic theology. Oh my God, no. You left me behind at 35 people. Yeah, but were they all listening or was everybody talking at once though? How do you work it out? You sort of say, right, you talk, all right, you talk. I would sit here feeling a bit like, a bit like I was in, making decisions like, you can talk, oh no, you can't talk, or oh yes, you can talk. I don't know, I wouldn't want to do that. Wouldn't want to do that, yeah. So, no. I did get invited to a Zoom call the other day, but they were all knitters. I mean, they're beautiful people. They were very nice people and they made me feel very welcome. But they were all knitters and they all knit these Stephen West shawls. It's a bit like being on the Stephen West fan club, you know. So I decided I don't think it's for me. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were lovely, lovely people. I mean, Denise was one of them, Denise Dear. She's one of them. But when you think that I mostly crochet anyway, and I certainly don't knit Stephen West shawls, that I just felt a bit out of it. And they all used the hand-dyed yarn, which, you know, again, I was out of it. You know, I don't know whether even if I could afford it, I would want to use the hand-dyed yarn because it's all hand wash, isn't it? And hand wash, it takes so much time and effort, doesn't it? To hand wash everything and lay it all flat. And I mean, I've done that in the past. Done that. Worn the t-shirt, but I'm not up to it these days. You know, it's nice to have something in a hand-dyed yarn because the colours are absolutely beautiful. They can never get the same colours in acrylics. Although acrylic is moving along and it is, you know, I'm not one of these people who goes on their hobby horse saying, oh, if it goes in landfill, it takes so many 100 years to disintegrate. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, I don't usually put my woolies in landfill. You know, if they're anything decent, I'll unravel them and reuse them. You know, I'm a very great believer in reusing stuff if it's not beyond the pale, you know, if it's not gone too fluffed up that you can't undo it. But, you know, or give it to, you know, charity shops and things like that so it can be recycled, yeah. I would like to think that not many of my stuff finishes up in a landfill. And I certainly don't subscribe to this theory. You don't put babies in acrylic because they might go near a fire. Who has a fire these days? And if you do have a fire, you have a fire guard if you have a baby. And if you don't have a fire guard, you're very stupid, yeah? You know, I used to get people saying to me, you shouldn't make baby things in acrylic. You know, if a baby gets in a fire, it'll melt on it. And I'm like, what? You know, how many babies in your lifetime have ever had their jumpers set on fire? You know? Hi, Neil. No, I'm not feeling much better, love. I'm trying to put on a brave face, but I'm still coughing. Yeah. I mean, I can remember in the older days, those nylon nighties where little kiddies would lean over the open fire and the nylon nighties had set on fire. I was of that generation, but these days fabrics are a lot better made and people do not have open fires, or if they do, they usually have the fires, you know, with the glass doors that close, you know. I mean, in my generation, it was all an open fire. I mean, but when you were a kid, you learnt not to go near it, you know. It was instilled in you from a very young age. You know, if you go near that, you'll burn yourself. Don't go near it. And you do learn the hard way because you will go and touch, won't you, you know. Hi, Designs by Jean. Hiya. But I think kids learn, well, they learn the hard way a lot of the time, don't they? But I mean, I just taught my son, obviously, when he was tiny, we had a fire guard, yeah. But when he grew older, it was like, just don't go near the gas fire, you know, because you'll get burned. And, you know, we had the inevitable touching something when he was little. Oh, I make me think that, yeah, well, you don't touch it again then, do you? But I think today's kids are too wrapped up in cotton wool. They don't have any common sense. You know, nobody teaches them that if, you know, a fire will burn them, you know, you don't touch anything that's hot because you'll get burned. Nobody seems to teach them that. I mean, when you think my generation, it's a wonder any of us grew up, you know. with all these pitfalls like lead paint and don't suck the toy soldiers because they're made of lead paint. We had none of that, you know. We all survived, yeah. We did, we survived. Yeah, you can't eat that, you can't eat this. If you eat this, you'll get that, and oh dear, dear. I'm old school. Old school. Ah dear. I was having a rant the other day about these short videos. You know, when you look at your subscriptions on YouTube and all you get is short, short, short. Anyway, found a way around it. I blocked them all. Not block the people who make them, because if they make any decent sized videos, I'll watch them. But I found a way around. Well, my friend has found a way around of blocking the shorts. So no, I don't have to be subjected to them anymore. The little puzzles that had quicksilver. Oh yeah, I can remember. What were the thermometers that had quicksilver in? Yeah. You saw me log about the shorts. I've got a way around it. My friend showed me how to get rid of them, and I've got rid of them. I find them so infuriating, those shorts. You know, it's a short, and it's like, you know, do you like this top? Well, I'm going to be making it soon. Yeah, and don't show it me if you're not going to make it. Don't show it me and make a tutorial 3 weeks later. You know, it really annoys me, that. Or put a short up saying, I'm going to make a video in a couple of hours or something, or in a couple of days. And I'm like, yeah, right, well, just make the video and just put the video up and just don't tell me about it, because I don't want to know. Yeah. Because you're just annoying me. When I get annoyed, I won't watch your big video anyway, because I'm annoyed with you. So it doesn't make me want to see more. It makes me want to see less, to be quite truthful. Yeah, but they're now saying you can get paid if you make these shorts. That's going to encourage people even more to put idiot. You don't mind if they're interesting, but by and large, they're usually idiots or idiotic people dancing around like they are on TikTok, making funny faces, you know, showing their tattoos off or something. You know, maybe the young ones want to watch that sort of drivel, but I don't. I don't. I don't want to watch YouTube shorts. I don't watch them. And by and large, they lose a subscriber, because if they keep doing these shorts and they start irritating me, I stop watching the proper videos, so they lose a subscriber. I mean, a friend of mine said, oh, I make shorts because if I'm ill and I can't make a long video, then people know I'm still around. I'm like, no. She said, I've gained subscribers from it. And I'm like, I can't see that myself. Maybe I'm wrong, but hi, Katie. Maybe I would gain subscribers if I made idiotic shorts. If I flashed up saying, I'm going to make a video on Saturday, hope you're going to be watching. Bye now. No, thanks. No. Yeah. If I haven't got time to make a proper video, I just don't make one. I mean, I've not been clever this week, so you've not seen much of me, and you didn't see much of me the week before. You know, it's hard to be hello, everybody, when you're feeling like death warmed up. Yeah. I've been staying in bed actually till about lunchtime. My alarm goes off at 8 o'clock, and I turn over to turn it off, and my back goes, because, you know, I told you I've pulled a muscle or something through coughing. So I think, no, just settle yourself back down when the pain subsides, and then I must nod off again. So Yeah, we shall see. I think I told you I went out for afternoon tea last Wednesday. It was nice to get out and about. A lovely friend gave me a lift. Oh, they're pushing it, aren't they, Katie? They're pushing it and pushing it. All these shorts suggest. I'm getting less. Actually, I've found a way around it now. So, yeah. But I'm not saying anything because it might not be legal what I've been told to do. But it certainly has cut down on the shorts, yeah. Yeah, I went out for afternoon tea. A friend gave me a lift, luckily. Otherwise, I would never have made it. And it was okay. It was okay. But the scones were like bricks. I don't know who made the scones, but honest to God, you could have used them as a hammer. You could have knocked a nail in with the scones. But I did think, like, we got three little sandwiches each, which if you put all three sandwiches together, it would have been 2 slices of bread, if you're with me, 2 slices they cut the crusts off and yeah, fancy. And then we got three little cakes, and then we got a scone or scone, whichever way you want to call it. But I didn't eat the scone because it was like a house brick. So, I mean, it was okay, but it was £12.50 a head, which I thought was a little bit steep. You could have gone out for dinner, couldn't you, for that, really? It looked better than it tasted, actually, yeah. But that wasn't mine, that little thing. It was for 3 people, that thing I showed you, yeah. So it wasn't all mine. So don't be thinking that. And to be quite honest, I didn't eat the scone. I didn't eat one of the cakes. I just don't eat much these days. And the last sandwich I ate, I was pushing it down. I just didn't really want it, yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just don't want to eat much these days. You would think I would be going down the neck, wouldn't you? You would think I'd be going slim. I'm not. I've lost 4 pounds, but that's not it. The little I eat, you think I would be dropping pounds by the ton, but I'm not. Mind you, my downfall is like I said to my diabetes nurse. She said, "What's your diet like?" And I said, "Absolute rubbish, really. Yeah, absolute rubbish." I said, "I'll hold my hand up." I said, "I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my diet is very good. I'm not going to sit there and say that." She said, "What's your downfall?" I went, "Chocolate." I said, "I'd rather eat a chocolate bar than eat my dinner." Yeah. Hi, Donna. You hope the Emerald City Comic Con would stream what right now? What do you want them to stream? Yeah, I went out with a knitting group, yeah. The one who caused all the kerfuffle, she sat on a different table, thank goodness. This stream, why would anybody in Comic Con want to see us? Am I funny? Am I dressed up? No, the one who caused the havoc. She came in and she was pulling her face because the seats were, you know. No, I haven't sold anything. I haven't even tried to sell anything yet. I'm waiting for the craft fair. It's on the 18th, yeah. They'd like to dress up as me. How boring is that? I could understand it if I was dressed up in all my finery, all my boho stuff. My boho stuff is mostly summery stuff. It's a bit cold. So all my boho dresses are actually packed away at the minute, waiting for summer. Apart from my boho trousers, which need shortening, they're about a foot too long. My patchwork pants, yeah. I'm so cold, I can't be wearing my dresses at the moment. A mascot of Fleetwood? No, that's the cod. It's called Cod Town, Fleetwood, because of its fishing industry. You're a cod head if you come from Fleetwood. Thankfully, I wasn't born here, so I will not be called a cod head. But that's the name for the people who was born in Fleetwood. Apparently, he's a cod head. You could dress me up as a fisherman's friend, because those sweetie things are made here. There used to be a lot more industry here, but of course it's all gone now because of the fishing rights. I mean, you would think that now we're out of the EU, we could get our fishing rights back again and stop letting the French come and fish in our waters and snitch all the fish. Yeah. But that's another thing. I never voted to go in the EU in the first place. I voted no. So if we hadn't gone in, we wouldn't have all this trouble coming out again, would we? We never had all this taxation and import duties and stuff. We never had any of that before we went in the EU. It's only since we've come back out again. Yeah, go in the EU, they said it'd be wonderful for trade. They said it'll be this, it'll be that. It wasn't. It wasn't anything. We didn't get any benefits from going in the EU, as far as I'm concerned. And now we're getting worse because we want to come out. Well, we've come out of it, haven't we? Now they're penalising us for coming out of it. I will never understand the ways of the world. Should have just left us as we were. Then we would have been a lot happier. I mean, I was watching my friend Tracy, you know, from Crochet Rocks, and she was saying she can't order a lot of things anymore now because she keeps getting stung for import duty and stuff. So, like, she used to, well, she wants to stock that, is it sheep jeeps or scages or sheepish, she calls it, wool, but she can't because she'd have to pay all this import duty. I mean, I'm not ordering any wool at the moment, as you know, but I would love to order again, once again, from Ice Yarn, because I love their yarn. But it's just ridiculous, you know. And it's all right, people saying, oh, you can get it off eBay. Yeah, you can get the stuff that nobody wants on eBay. You know, things that they've ordered and they don't like, you can get on eBay. But you can't get the proper stuff, if you know what I mean. The stuff that everybody wants, you can't get that on eBay. Or you might find a couple of balls somewhere. But the ones that I used to like the baby and the ice magic and the stuff like that, you know, I can't afford the postage and the import duty and the VAT. Can't afford that anymore. At one time, I know people used to say, oh, the postage is so high when it comes from Ice Yarn. But the wool was so cheap that by the time you'd added the postage on and then divided it by the number of balls you'd ordered, it still put the price of it underneath what you would have paid for the equivalent in the UK. But now it doesn't work out that way. No. Luckily, I still have quite a bit, yeah. But it's going to affect everybody. It means if I still don't even know properly if I can send anything to Canada yet. And one of me lots of wool's gone adrift that I posted out from eBay. So I hope it arrives, otherwise I'm going to have to give her a refund from that. I mean, I've got the proof of postage, I've got everything, but it's been, what, over a week since it got sent out? So I'm just hoping it arrives. I've got the proof of postage thing, but I didn't pay the extra and have it tracked. You can't do that anymore because if you pay for it to be tracked and traced, it's more than the wool was worth, yeah. So I'm hoping it turns up. Everybody else's is turned up, it's just hers that hasn't. If it doesn't, I'll go and ask the post office if they can track it for me. Because I've got the tracking number, I've got the proof of postage for it. But if it doesn't turn up, it doesn't turn up, you know. Oh dear, I just hope it turns up eventually for her. Hope she'll hang on a bit longer. But I posted it on, I think it was the 23rd, which is quite a while ago, isn't it? 23rd of February I posted it. But everybody else has got theirs, you know, within a couple of days they got theirs. I don't know why hers has gone adrift. So hopefully it will turn up, but it just depends how long she's willing to wait. Because you don't want a bad name. You sort of over a barrel about refunding, aren't you? Because you don't want a bad name as being a bad seller that you haven't responded, yeah. But what can I do? Yeah. I know, but you feel awful when they don't receive it when they've paid you for it, don't you, Jean? I'm just hoping that it does turn up, even though it's, going to be delayed or something. I mean, everything I post at that post office arrives, so I can't blame the post office. But I did try to look on the tracking list and it didn't say anything. It didn't say in transit, it didn't say anything at all. So I don't know. As I say, if she doesn't get it in the week, I'll ask at the post office, see if they can track it for me, where it went. Who knows these days where things go to? I think they go via the North Pole or the South Pole when you post anything. I mean, touching wood, I've been very lucky with anything I've ordered. Things have arrived. Maybe I've had to wait. The only thing that didn't arrive was a birthday card didn't arrive. And I did get a Christmas card in the middle of January. But apart from that, everything else has arrived, yeah. I did have to wait 3 weeks for one thing to arrive, yeah. I was beginning to get a little bit worried about it, but it did turn up in the end. But I mean, we've not had any strikes really, have we? Royal Mail's not been on strike again since I posted it. I don't think so, anyway. But when you think how many parcels and letters a day they deal with, it's no wonder things go adrift, is it really? You've only got to look at the automated system that they have when they do it on the telly, and you're thinking, my God, it's a wonder anything gets there at all. It did used to be so dependable, but I mean, these things happen, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, there's backlogs in different places, but you just feel a bit responsible when, you've posted something off and somebody's paid you for it and it doesn't arrive. You feel a bit responsible, don't you? Trixie is snoring. Nothing can be heard but the gentle sound of Trixie snoring. I've got to sleep with her. Oh, God, I hate sleeping with that dog. They're going away in April for a week, and I've got her all week. Oh. Do you know I used to sleep with Buster? He was a great, big, massive boxer boxer Staffy cross. And I used to fall asleep, and he was no problem. He would sleep at the side of me, and he would never bother. He never woke me up. He never jumped on me, slept on me, or anything. I used to sleep with little GG. He was no trouble. He would just curl up next to me and go to sleep, and that was the end of him. But this one, she's got really heavy feet. You'd think she was a lurch, not a lurcher, a Rottweiler or something. She's like all night. And then she comes up here somewhere and she snores in your ear. And, oh, I can't sleep with her. I really cannot. I get up in the night half the time and sleep on the recliner because she drives me crackers. Maya, last night I was fast asleep and there was bang, was this almighty bloody crash. So I gets up, I'm looking round, looked in the kitchen, looked in the lounge, looked everywhere to see if anything had fallen down. I listened upstairs, not a sound, they were fast asleep upstairs. I thought, what the heck was that? So today I said to him, what was that in the middle of the night? He said, oh, I don't know. They said, it must have been Rosie falling off the bed or something. I said, it didn't wake you up? And they went, no. It was an almighty thump. It wasn't just a little crash. I mean, I can sleep through anything, but that blooming crash, honestly. Felt like, the ceiling was coming through. They didn't hear anything. They really do need the hearing testing, them too. Just looking at my fire. Yeah, it's still glowing. It's still warm. Trixie's settled on me recliner now. Yeah, this is only going to fit a dolly, I think. That's what I'm doing. But I might as well push on with it. Maybe I should have done it on a larger hook. Because it's quite thick. It's kind of like fleecy, if you know what I mean. It's a bit like toweling when it's been, crocheted up. Oh, I watched another fashion show by one of them sweet young things. That make things out of super, super thick yarn. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, you have to be young to wear anything like that. That's the trouble. I can crochet anything that they crochet. And yeah, it's ice yarn. Oh, it's a bit what I had left over from ice. It's like a towel and it's like a fluffy. They make everything out of this very thick sort of blankety type yarn, or they make everything out of chunky. And everything's oversized into it. It's hanging off them. And they're saying, I watched one lady and oh my God, her crocheting was appalling. And her sewing up was even worse. And she's going, oh, it's so cute. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not cute at all. I've decided I've got to say cute every other word. Or, oh, it's so adorable. Or when I hold up a sweater, I've got to say, isn't she lovely? I mean, since when did a sweater become a she? Isn't she lovely, what I'm making? It's so cute. It's adorable. Yeah. I watched one lady and she must have said cute about a million times. Well, not a million times, but definitely hundreds of times, yeah. And I thought, have you got no other adjectives that you can say besides it's so cute? Or is it just me? Me being in a grouchy mood. Thinking, why do you keep saying it's so cute every 5 minutes? You bought some cotton in a teal colour. I think I've got some teal cotton actually in my she shed. I haven't been out there yet. I have not been out there. It's so cold. I can't go out there when it's cold. I'm going to have to go out there before the craft show because the things I want to take are in there. And I've got to put the underwear on the mannequins, yeah. So they won't be looking out through my shed window in the nude, yeah. They'll be covered up. They'll have their undies on. The mannequin babies have all got bodysuits on now, so they're looking decent, They're not showing off their wherewithals anymore. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my necklace today is rings, the wooden rings. I don't know whether you can see it or not. Wooden rings on a cord. Hi, Shad. Have you been fishing? Where have you been? I think Chris has gone cooking. He's gone very quiet. All the guys have gone quiet today. Nathan's quiet. Shad's quiet. No, Shad's here. Sorry, Chris is quiet. Oh, there he is. Hello. Thought you'd gone quiet, Chris. You're still working on the house and the garden. Are you going to plant veggies or are you going to do flowers in your garden? The end thing is veggies, isn't it? Then you can sort of be self-sufficient, isn't it? If you grow your own veg, yeah. I'm a rubbish gardener, otherwise I would like to grow veggies, but I know I can't. I haven't got the patience. I bought a raised bed and put lettuce and stuff in it, but I didn't look after it. So I just told my daughter-in-law she can do what she wants with it this summer. She can either put flowers in it or she can grow some veggies. It's up to her what she does. I've washed my hands of it now. Rita said, have you got fed up with it? I said, yeah. I've decided gardening's not my thing. I do not like soil in my fingertips, and I'm not one of nature's gardeners, I'm afraid. When I was fit, I used to do it, yeah. Hi, Darlene. You know, when I was fitter and I could. Oh, you've got lettuce coming up. Well, it's a bit warmer where you are, Shadow, isn't it? You don't have the snow. Right, is that long enough? Because it's only going to be for a dolly, so I think it's long enough. Yeah, I grew lettuce and I actually grew some tomatoes last year. You know, before I sort of gave up. And we had some spinach. That was all right. We grew spinach. Yeah, my daughter-in-law can have the choice of what she wants to do with it this year. So it's up to her. I'll leave it up to her what she wants to do with it. Tom Sizemore, who's that? Who's Tom Sizemore when he's at home? I am not knowing. An actor. Saving Private Ryan. No, I don't know. Don't know. I'm not much into films and actors and stuff. I only know the big ones, you know, the big names. Maybe if I saw his face, I might know who he was. I watch very few films. An aneurysm. Yeah, I watch very few. Very, very few films. There's a couple of new ones that I'd like to watch. I think one's an English one called Hallelujah or something. Set in an old folks' home. That's one that I might want to watch. They're my type of films. I don't like these modern films. Flashbang wallop films, I call them. Special effects and swearing and things like that. Nah, not my cup of tea at all. I'm old-fashioned, I've said that before. I'm not quite Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, but you know, I'd rather watch a good film properly. I don't like action films at all. They're just not my cup of tea. I'd rather watch the old things on the telly, you know, like Vera. I'm watching The Bay I've just finished watching The Bay. Because I was catching up on an old one I'd missed. So I've got a new one starting on Wednesday. And I'm watching another one. What's it called on a Mondays? Oh, I can't think what it's called on a Monday. You know what I'm like today. I can't think of nothing. Anyway, I started watching that. That's another series. I'd rather watch things like that than watch films. I don't want to watch films. I fidget too much. I get up and walk about, and I can't sit for 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours. I can't sit still. And going to the cinema, I think, is just a complete and utter waste of time. I could not sit still. I'd be thinking I could be at home doing my crocheting. I can't sit and do nothing. I just cannot sit. It's like my mum used to say, like the devil makes work for idle hands. I cannot sit and do nothing. I have to be really ill if I just sit and do nothing. If I'm not crocheting or knitting, I'm reading or doing something. I just cannot just sit like a cabbage and watch nothing. Just like, can't do it. Even when I'm watching YouTube, I've got to be doing something. I don't know whether anybody else is the same as me, but I cannot sit still. I can only sit still with something in my hands, yeah. Sewing. When I say sewing, I don't mean making things. I mean repairing jobs, yeah. I almost got the sewing machine out the other day. My son said, "Can you repair my hoodie?" I went, "Yeah, you get the machine out." He went, "No, it don't need a posh job." He said, "Just do it by hand." And I'm like, I've been trying to get him to get the machine out the shed for about 3 months now, because that is too heavy for me to carry with my bad back. And I am not sitting in a freezing cold shed sewing on the machine. There's no room for them in the shed anyway. I've only got a table and it's full of all sorts at the moment. I've got a dining table in there that's huge. That would be lovely for me to put my sewing machine on. But I know my daughter-in-law would hate me to do that, but hey ho. You know, I've got quite a lot of dresses to shorten, and I've got 3 pairs of trousers to shorten because they're made for people who are 6 foot tall, and I'm not. So I could spend a good couple of days, doing all my repair jobs and shortening my dresses and doing whatever I've got to do. Doing little repair. When I say sewing, I mean repairs, really. Putting that flipping zip in that I've been talking about for ages. Yeah. So what's everybody doing tonight? What are you all doing? Are you knitting, crocheting? What are you doing? Cooking? In Chrissy's case, probably. What are you all doing? Am I the only one that's doing anything? Am I on my own here? Doing something? You're knitting, are you? Yeah. I need to finish off that sweater of mine. I've got to finish the neck off and do 2 sleeves, yeah. Sophie's Universe. Oh my God, you deserve a medal for that. You're going to make moonshine. I don't blame you, Shad. Bit of moonshine keep you warm, especially if it snows. Yeah. Sophie's Universe. I would never be able to do that, Donna, if you paid me a fortune. I have not got the patience to sit. Oh, you're doing pearl stitches now, Katie. Good for you. You've made 3 of them. What on earth do you do with 3 blankets? Where do you put them? It amazes me how these people make all these throws. Where do you put them? What do you do with them when you've made them all? I can understand anybody wanting to make 1 or 2 to push if you've got 2 sofas. But these people who make dozens of throws, what do they do with them? Where do you put them? You gave them away. Oh, you must be mental. You gave them away. All that wool. No, we're not having any snow. It's only John that keeps saying we've got the beast from the east. I refuse to believe it. They keep saying on the news we're going to get snow, but I don't believe it. I'm not having any snow here. Put my foot down. Don't want snow. I've got things to do. I know I've got a new scooter, but I don't fancy ploughing through the snow in it, you know. Oh, I need to find out why it's squeaking. It's driving me nutty. Your best friend made you one too? Oh my God. Do you know, people have got the patience of Job to make them things. There's a lot of work in them. I'd be bored at the first hurdle. To finish up as a square. It'd probably finish up as Sophie's cushion if I made it. Because that's as far as it'd ever get. Oh, I couldn't. I haven't got the patience to sit with blankets. I just don't, Donna. If anything takes me more than a couple of weeks to do, I'm bored. I could never make a big blanket. Those Janie Crow books I bought, I gave them to my friend in Scotland. I knew I'd never do them. They were beautiful, but I knew I'd never do them. No, I just can't do a big thing like that. I just can't. I have to finish things. I've got finish syndrome. If I start a sweater, I've got to finish it. I can't have something dribbling on for 2-3 years, yeah. I have finishitis, so I need to finish things. I'm no good with anything. No, I can't. I just can't, Donna. I just can't. I mean, that when I did that throw thing in Granny Squares for my daughter-in-law, it drove me mental. 180 squares, I think it was, either 160 or 180 squares I did. It drove me daft. And as for doing the second one, it never got done. I'm actually using up the yarn to make baby things now. Yeah, I can't stand having things hanging around. I cannot have works in progress. You know, these people who have bagfuls of stuff that's half done. It would drive me mental, yeah. Hey, Seaside Mum. I wish you would. I wish you would come and sort out the squeak on my scooter. It's not my scooter that's squeaking, it's the top bit. No, I don't like variety, Donna, with different. The only thing I ever used to have was when I used to be going to the hospital every other week. I had a little tiny bag that was my hospital crochet bag, and it had, what do you call it? One of those virus shawls in it. And the only time I ever worked on it was when I was at hospital. That was the only thing I ever had. Because I knew that I just had to grab it and everything was in there, the hook, the wool, yeah. So that was the only thing I ever used to have. But since I stopped going to the hospital, I finished it off and then I don't have a hospital bag anymore. You know, I just take whatever I'm working on with me. No, I can't. You know, I see some people, they've got about 14, 15 bags with socks in and shawls in, and I'm working on this, I'm working on that. And I'm like, how the heck do you know where you are? If I put something down for a week, I've forgotten where I'm up to, you know. Maybe it's an age thing, I don't know. But I would have forgotten where I was, yeah. Yeah, I know the like button and I wish everybody would press it for me, please. Please, please, please. Oh, I mean, I do watch a lot of people, you know, they watch their videos. And some people, they just pull out bag after bag. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and everything. And I'm like, yeah, but you're showing it me week after week and nothing's ever growing. You know, show me something that you've finished. I don't want to keep seeing you've done 2 rows on this sock, or I've knitted an inch on this, or whatever. You know, I'd rather you showed me something you'd actually finished, yeah. Yeah, I like doing the virus shawl because it's sort of, to me, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? You can get on with it. But I've crocheted, sorry, so many virus shawls, I think I've run out of people. I've still got a few in the shed that, you know, if they don't sell, I'll be doing something with them. But, you know, yeah, it's just like a no-brainer what you can do when you're not thinking about it, isn't it? Yeah. I used to do the Doris Channel shawl as well. That's very, very plain and easy. I used to do that a lot. It's very, very plain until you get to the edging. It's got sort of like a pineapple scallop edging. I used to do the virus shawl a lot. Not the virus shawl, the all shawl. That's a free pattern. You can do that in all kinds of wool as well, you know. All kinds of thicknesses, everything. It's just one of those shawls, yeah. And I used to do another one of Doris Chan's. That was all pineapples. I can't think what that. You know, my brain isn't working today. I can't think what that's called. But I used to make loads and loads of those. It's a real pineapple stitch. Oh, Doris Chan. It's called All Shawl. ALL. All Shawl, and it is dead, dead easy. You know, if you can't do the edging, you can always do something else around the edge. The edging is the only bit that's a bit complicated, but you know, the whole shawl isn't. Yeah, the whole shawl is dead easy. You know, if you couldn't do that edging, you could always do just a bit of a shell edge around the end of it. You know, that's the one thing about crochet, it's adaptable. If you can't do something, you just do something else, don't you? You know? But the actual basic shawl is just easy peasy. I found it on Ravelry. I mean, loads of people have made it. It was one of those patterns back in the day that everybody made. You know, like everybody latches onto the virus shawl, then everybody's latched onto Sophie's Universe at the moment. And that's kind of something that puts me off a pattern, actually. When I look on, you know, my YouTube videos and that, and everybody is making Sophie's Universe, or everybody is making so and so. It's like everybody was making those scarves with pockets in, weren't they, at one time? It's like a trend, and when anything's a trend, I don't make it. I'm funny that way. I think, nah, everybody's making that. I'm not doing that. I mean, have you seen that silly hat that Madonna's wearing? It looks like it's made out of scraps, and it looks like Snoop Dogg ears. It's all jazzy colours and these big ears like that. And she's prancing about, you know, in a pair of pink hot pants shorts things, looking like a right fool. But I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for every man and his dog to make one of these hats, you know. Because that's what happens. Oh, I'll make one of those hats. Madonna's wearing one of those hats. Yeah, Madonna's daft enough to wear it. You look stupid in it, don't bother. You know. I'm just waiting for all these copyists to make Madonna's hat. Look equally as daft as she did wearing it. She got a new boyfriend, didn't she? I believe he's about 26. I mean, what's she now? About 64? Silly girl. Silly girl. You know, why can these stars not realise that these blokes they hook up with, they only want to go with them because of who they are. So it's like their 5 minutes of fame, isn't it? Oh, and Madonna's new boyfriend, you know. Madonna, you're being daft. He don't want you for. He wants you to stepping stone upwards to make a name for himself, using you as a step ladder. For want of being polite, yeah. I mean, this new one's about the same age as her daughter, isn't he? As Lourdes. Oh, dear. Oh, God, she looks like an Easter egg, doesn't she? Like a boiled egg. What's she done to herself? I mean, there's cosmetic surgery. And people will pay to see her. You know, freaking out. I mean, she's gone too far with this last lot of plastic surgery. For God's sake, she looks like an egg. I like a face with a bit of character. Is that how much it is? Oof. Yeah, I mean, they have so much plastic surgery, some people, you can't even tell who they are anymore. You know, at one time they had a personality and they had something that you could recognise. You know, you could look at somebody and you knew who they were. You know, you looked at somebody like Marilyn Monroe, didn't you? And you looked at Jane Russell and you looked at people and you knew who they were immediately by just looking at them. Yes, they changed a little bit. Maybe they had a little slight nip and tuck, but nothing too drastic, you know. I've got relatives over in Canada. I think it's Shawnigan Lake, is it? Whatever. Oh dear. Just looking up my address book. Where do they live? I think it's at the back of my address book. She says here. No, it's not there anymore. I think it was Shawnigan Lake or something. Shawnigan. I can't find it now. I had it written down. But sadly, she's died now, one of them. My auntie's died now. But that's where she used to live. And I don't know where her sons are all in Canada, but I don't know where they are. No, can't find it. I've got it written down somewhere. No, can't see it. I found Ephraim's address. I found Z's address. But I haven't found my cousin's address. She was my cousin, although I used to call her my auntie because she was so much older than me. My cousin was a one-hit wonder in Canada in his youth. It was so long ago that nobody would have heard of him now. Have I got him down? No, I don't. Oh, yeah, there we are. Vancouver Island, British Columbia. Yeah, Vancouver Island, British Columbia. That's where my cousin lives. Oh, well, I wouldn't have afforded to pay that. If I could have afforded it, I wouldn't have paid it. I'm tight. Oh, don't talk about them two. We can stop there for all I care. I hope they don't come over for the coronation. Flipping well hope they don't bother. He's not popular. You live on Vancouver Island. All it says is Shawnigan Lake. Shawnigan Avenue or something. Shawnigan Avenue, Vancouver Island, British Columbia. VOR, whatever it is, 2601, whatever that is. That's where they live. That's the postcode, yeah. VLR 26. No, it's VOR or something, I think. Can't read my own writing. Can't read my own writing. It looks like VOR 2601 to me, or 2401. Something like that. My picture screen is always cloudy. I don't know why. It must be the light. It's certainly not fuzzy in here. I don't know why it always looks cloudy. It's something to do with this light, I think. It's not cloudy when I move it round, but I can't see. So I move it this way and it looks cloudy. I don't know what it is. Why it looks cloudy, I don't know. Yeah, obviously I've never been to see them. My dad and mum went years and years ago. All my dad used to say, he was so impressed with Canada because it was so clean. You know, there was no rubbish anywhere. There was no cigarette butts on the floor. You know, it was really clean and, you know, tidy and everything. They went on that, you know, the train that goes through the Rockies and everything. They spent a couple of nights, was it 2 or 3 nights on the train? You know, they really like that, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't pay a lot for anything, you know me, Rick. I'll say that for Fleetwood here. Every morning when I go on the beach, there's volunteers with plastic bags cleaning up the beach. You know, for all the flotsam and stuff that gets washed in with the tide and stuff. Oh yeah, they really enjoyed the train, really. And they got in with, there was a bloke on the train who was an ex-driver. And I don't know whether they employ him or whether he just does it, but he used to ride the train for free kind of thing. And he used to tell everybody where things were and which way to look and everything. I think maybe well, I don't know whether he's employed or whether he just did it as a hobby, because he was an elderly guy that used to be a train driver. But he you know, say, look to the left is this, look to the right to this, yeah. And my mum and dad were, sadly, my dad was never into cameras and that. So, you know, we never had any photos of anything. They brought a few postcards home with them, but yeah, I think he was like having a free fare, but I think I think he enjoyed talking to people, you know, and showing them where things were as they were going along. It was in the observation car or something, you know. But you know, my mum and dad appreciated him, yeah, showing them where everything was and stuff they would have missed if they were just sitting in the observation car on their own, yeah. But they were impressed, like how clean Canada was. I must say that Fleetwood promenade is pretty clean, apart from the people who don't pick up after their dogs. That's my big bug. Everybody has at least one dog here. And most people are very good and they clear up after their dogs. But some days I go along the seafront and it's just dog mess, dog mess, dog mess. And you think, why don't you pick up after your dog? But the beaches, you know, they're all volunteers that do it, usually elderly people. And they've got big sort of plastic bags with hoops, you know, and they have picker things. Because a lot of rubbish gets brought in by the tide, you know. It's amazing what gets brought in by the tide, bits of boats, bits of all sorts, you know. So they pick it up, they're very good, yeah. It's going cold in here. My fire's still glowing. What time is it? 10:30. I might put some more coal on. Just hold on 1 second while I put a bit more coal on my fire. Can't have my doggy being cold, can I? Oh, dearie me. Hey, we need some more coal on the fire, Trixie. We're running out of fuel. Put some coal on the fire. Hey? I wish I could put a shovel full on, but I can never get a shovel when the coal scuttle's full. That'll do. Oh, what's the matter with you, little girl? Oh, oh, oh. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 Trixie Bell. What do you want, darling? Hey, what do you want, sweetie? Oh. When the coal scuttle's full, I can't get the shovel in. I have to put it on piece by piece. Oh. Oh, they really enjoyed it. They really did. They loved it in Canada. They went to America, but they weren't as impressed. But bear in mind, they only just went over the border a little bit. They didn't actually go into America. They got told off, actually, because they had an orange. You're not supposed to take fruit over the border. When they went through customs to get into America, they had an orange. Apparently, it's a deadly sin. No, they only went just into America. They didn't go into America. They just went over the border. Just to say they'd been in America. A lot of the Canadians, though, speak French, though, don't they? Or is that just in certain parts? What are you doing? The dog's after me. Me hula hoops. Only in Quebec, is it? French language first, yeah. Way over here, I think it's Urdu. Gosh. We were wondering where you were. We thought you might have started your new job. How's it going? How's your new job going, Kaz? Come on, tell us all. What are you after? Hmm? Oh, you love it. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. There's nothing worse than starting a new job and hating it, is there? I'm giving the dog bits. Shouldn't be doing. I'm getting told off. So I wonder Rosie's not coming. I swear she can hear a crisp packet at 100 yards. Well, the Welsh are very fanatical, if you're in Wales. I lived in a little Welsh village when I was a kid. And they did speak Welsh amongst themselves, but they would speak in English. But the minute you walked in, they would start talking Welsh. And you knew they were talking about you. Oh, Wales is very beautiful, yeah. Oh, that's great, Kaz. Oh, your cat's still missing. Oh, dear, Jim. Sadly, it's not looking very good as it's been gone 3 weeks. Hate to say this. Oh, it's all gone, Trixie. It's all gone. Yeah, it's a bit of a long time. I mean, I know they go missing for a week or so, but when they go for 3 weeks, it's a bit sad, isn't it? And then they go for 3 weeks. I mean, my cat went missing for a week and he turned up, but he was a full tomcat at the time. So he'd gone off, you know, he'd gone off after the women, if you know what I mean. He came back full of fleas, his ear hanging off. But like I say, he was a full tom. I had him neutered shortly after that. I thought, we're not having all this. Yeah, I thought he was gone. He was gone over a week. And then I heard this meowing and he just comes walking in like he hadn't been anywhere, you know. Good evening, Anglesey. I don't know whether it's Anglesey or I can't say Anglesey. Anglesly. Your cat's a full tomcat. He'd be gone after the women. Ours was gone for a whole week. And he came back looking like I don't know what. He'd obviously been fighting. Took me ages to get rid of all his fleas. You have to get them neutered to make them stay home, John. Yeah, the supermarkets here are usually hiring, but they're not always full-time jobs here. They've always got the 16 hours, yeah. Your cat's probably found himself a woman. He'll come home when he's ready, if he's a full Tom. Yeah. I've been watching that Alt Knots, as she calls. She'd been getting those grab bags from Michael's. Are they grab bags, grab boxes? $10, yeah. I mean, they're not for me because they're full of like decorations and that. They're full of all what's left over from Valentine's and stuff like that. She's got all these boxes. I mean, she keeps saying how much things are. You know, there was like sprays of flowers that was like $6.99 each and stuff, and there was loads of them in these boxes. But I mean, they wouldn't be any use to me because I don't do decorative things like that. Well, she's just put up. She's doing another one, Anglesey. She's got part 2 or something. Yeah, honest. I mean, one of them she opened. She got a chocolate machine. You know, chocolate fountains or something. I'd wait a bit longer, John. If you don't come back in another couple of weeks, then you can get another cat, yeah. This time get it spayed if it's a boy or a girl. Get it spayed and then it'll stop at home. I had to get mine because he was always going out fighting, he'd go missing. And I got fed up with him. Every time he'd come back with an ear missing, full of fleas, battered, and oh. Yeah, I don't know what she's going to do with her chocolate machine. But I mean, some of the stuff she got, honestly. As I say, I wouldn't want it because it was, all decorative stuff that she's got. But she's gone back for some more boxes, I believe. I don't know how that girl gets all that money. Mind, she's got so many subscribers, she probably gets quite a chunk off Amazon every month. My son only works 16 hours, but most times he works a lot more. Your cat reminds you when you were young. Well, how long have you had the cat? Is it an old cat? My cat lived till he was 14. My tomcat that drove me nutty, he lived till he was 14. My wanderlust. Every time I'd be in tears, my cat's this, and then it blum and come back again, didn't it? Every time I gave up on him, he came back. Your cat's 2-year old. Oh, yeah, well, he's still in full fledged, isn't he? Then he'd be after the women. Mine kept going missing and stuff, but till I had him neutered and then he stayed home. Mine was a little sod. It was a feral. Well, it's half feral. Its father was feral and it used to bite everybody. Oh, it was a bugger. It was all right with me. But it wouldn't sit on your ear out like that. He was completely wild. Why are you going on about honey nuts or something? Has she gone mad about it or something? Has she gone on about it? I didn't watch it. Like I say, I don't watch when she does the food hauls. Oh, the NHS. It's brilliant, is the NHS. It's good when it works, The NHS is good. They're a favourite cereal. Yeah, well, they might be, but I love watching it, don't get me wrong, I do, but I don't like watching her hauls, you know. I'm not into watching her Aldi or Lidl hauls, you know, without watching how much she's paid for a cereal. Not into that. Right, what shall I have? I've got a Turkish delight, or I've got a Cadbury's cream egg. The cat's name's COVID. Fancy calling him COVID. I'm having a cream egg. You vote the egg. I've got the egg. I've got the egg. And I know it won't be one of those where it's half white and half brown. I just know. I don't think anybody gets those. No, it's all brown. Can't resist them, Cadbury's cream egg. How do I eat them? I bite into them for a bit, and then I take the inside out. No, I don't like honeycomb. Gosh, that's got thick chocolate for a change. Look how thick the chocolate is. That's why I have spare tyres. All of crunches. Cinder toffee, it depends who's made it. Some cinder toffee's nice and others isn't. I'm losing weight, Rick. No matter for the chocolate, I'm still losing weight. I'm just not eating. I'll eat chocolate, but I'm not eating food. I'll go all day and not eat anything, and it's bad because I'm diabetic. Yeah, if you nod off, don't forget to turn your phone off. Otherwise, your battery will be dead tomorrow. It's all right, Rick. I don't take the notice. Don't worry. When you've worked for the job centre and been called every name under the sun by the little scroats that don't want to work, you just get used to it. I used to say to them, "You're not insulting me. You need to get up a lot earlier for that." It's not as fuzzy when I put the camera further down, is it? Not as fuzzy. They used to think they would distract me from looking for work for them if they insulted me and called me names, but they soon found out it didn't work. Yeah. I don't have any to know. I'm not having to know. I've banned it. Right, good night, Kaz. Yeah, they used to call me all the names under the sun. Oh, my crochet fell on the floor. And I used to say to them, well, there's obviously nothing wrong with your eyesight. Or I would laugh, and they used to say, it didn't work. They wanted you to go, oh, don't call me that. Oh, don't do that. And I was like, yeah, right, okay. I had a boyfriend once who was mixed race, and he used to work on the doors, if you know what that means, like a doorman, security. And they used to call him, all the names under the sun. It's usually the usual, the black, And, and he used to say, yeah, you're quite right. He said, I am black. Congratulations. He said, and my mother wasn't married to my father, so technically you are right. Have you got anything else to say? Oh, I used to let it roll off my back. There's only so many insults they can sling at you. And when you've heard them all, they just roll off your back. They don't insult you. It's like when they say to me when I'm on my scooter, get out the road. And I say, I've paid my road tax, have you? I'm insured. Are you? No, they're not. They just want to distract you. That's what they want to do, Rick. And they want to distract you from doing your job. They think if they hurl accusations and stuff at you, that you'll just let them go without them doing what they have to do. It's a distraction mode. Oh, I had a pen thrown at me. Now, that doesn't sound bad, but he threw it at my eye like a dart. No, we don't have a flag on the scooter, no. Now I've got lights. It actually has a registration plate, but I'm not enforced to wear it. I would have to buy it. It is. I don't often ride it on the road, only when I can't get up the pavement. Oh, half of our lot were on some kind of drugs or other. They shouldn't have been at the job centre because they weren't looking for work and nobody would have employed them. But, technically they weren't classed as being on sickness benefit. They were still supposed to be signing on, which was rather a laugh because no employer in their right mind would have employed them. But technically, by law, we were supposed to be looking for work for them. I mean, we get missives from above. You haven't looked for work for Mr. So-and-so. Mr. So-and-so has got work, as a carpenter, or he's got work as a whatever. There were several vacancies when he came in. Why did you not refer him to any of them? Because he was high as a kite. And he didn't have a driver's license and he didn't have the right requirements for the job. And we'd already got told off by that particular employer for sending people who were not suitable. So what do you want me to do? Because one employer had threatened that he wouldn't give us any more jobs if we didn't quit sending him unemployable people. So what do you do? And yet people who sit in above us that want to get the statistics right so they can go to somebody in government and say, we've got so many people in work this week. I've got no idea what what the clientele that sit in front of you are like. And also, you've got to think about the employer. Why would I waste my time sending Joe Bloggs for an interview when he's hired a kite or drunk as a skunk? You know, no point. But they don't know that, you know. Oh, I'm a diabetic. She said to me, what's your diet like? And I said, absolute rubbish. Oh, they won't do it. They won't do jobs that are manual. They think they're above all that sort of thing. University graduates are the worst. I used to hate it when they used to come in. They think because they've got a degree, they can command a salary of something ridiculous, yeah? And we're like, no, you start at the bottom and you work your way up. You do not. I've just done 3 years at university for this. I'm not accepting a job less than so many thousand a year, you know. And I'm like, well, good luck. Good luck, mate. Try, you know, applying for some. You've got no experience. You've got no anything. They come out of university with a degree, but they've never worked. You know, they never. I said, well, have you volunteered, you know, to do like an employer? I'm not working for nothing. I said, well, what job experience do you have? I've been at university for 3 years. Yeah, but what job experience have you had? You know, have you worked in that field? Can you put something on your CV that says, yes, I have worked for such a body and such a body? No. I said, well, no, you're not going to get a job then. And I could not get it through to them that they would not get a job just because they've got a uni degree because they haven't got any experience. Now, some kids would go and they would volunteer in the kind of firm that they wanted to work for. They would volunteer to do work experience or something. They were the ones who got a job. Yeah. But the ones who had a attitude, you know, I've just done so many things. I've just got what? Yeah, fine, you know, but you're not going to get a job because there's so many thousand people who've also just qualified the same as you. You are in the market where one person out of 100 will get a job. And that's the statistics. And I hate to tell you this, but university does not guarantee you a job. Yeah. Yeah, you've got to, you know, they just don't want to, they just think they're going to walk into a high paid job just because they've got a university education. And it doesn't work. You know, sadly, in this world, there's like for every one job, there must be at least 50 people apply for it. And so, unless you stand out from the rest, unless you've got something under your belt um, that says, yes, I have volunteered, I've worked such a place, I've done this, I've done that, it shows your employer that you've got a good work ethic, that you will turn up like and you would work, say, for nothing kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, a good paying job, there is so much competition, you have got to stand out above everybody else. Just going in with a university education does not cut any ice with most, you know, most employers. They want to know what you've been doing in the summer. Where have you worked during your off time? What have you been done? And if they say, well, I went skiing or just bummed about all summer, you know, they're not interested. They're not interested. You've got to work your way to the top. You don't get anything given to you these days. Yeah. Oh, these days is especially a degree in media. Oh my God, that was the latest. That was the trend when I worked in the job centre. They had a degree in media or tourism. Oh, come on. How many jobs is there in tourism? You know, it's like the hotel industry and all stuff like that. All they want is chambermaids, barmen. They don't want managers. You have to work your way up, yeah. I was lucky. My generation, I left school and got a job, but just working in a bank, it was nothing special. But it went on. Well, we didn't have CVs in my day. You've got to prove that you can do something. You can't just sit on your backside. A lot of parents are to blame. They don't make the kids do anything these days. I mean, my brother went to university and he was very highly qualified at university, but he took summer jobs. He worked in a cotton mill. He worked as a gardener. He did all sorts of things in his vacation. He didn't just sit there. My nieces were the same. They worked folding shirts. They worked in a pickle factory. They actually worked in a cigarette factory. They all worked during their holidays at university. Because my brother had a very good paying job, but he had two children at university at the same time. And much as he had money, it was hard for him to pay like two lots of, places to stay. What did he call it? Like, first of all, they were in student accommodation, yeah. But he had two lots of that to pay for, which he couldn't have paid for out of his one wage, no matter how good his wage was. He had two girls at university at the same time. I mean, when he was at university, we had no money whatsoever. But my brother was fortunate enough to get a grant, which didn't pay for everything, but grants were available back in the day. But when my two nieces were at uni, it was all student loans, which needed to be repaid. And, so many. I used to see them on Freshers' Week because I was in Manchester, near to where the unis were. And, they just go to uni and they just be drunk all the time. And you're thinking, university's to go there to work, not to get smashed out your tree and spend your whatever it is you get, your student loan on beer. I mean, if I should have gone to university and didn't, it was my own fault. My own fault I didn't go. But if I'd have gone, I wouldn't have been, out drinking and stuff. I would have been there to work, because I would have known that my parents would have sacrificed a lot to get me there. Oh, yeah, they only have to pay it back here if they earn above a certain amount of money. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know why they just don't give them a grant in the first place. Oh, if you go around where the students live, they're absolutely appalling, it is. They're scruffy, they're drunk, they're rubbish everywhere, they live off pizzas, takeaways, God knows what. I would hate to live near student accommodation. Really would. And you're there thinking, why are they there? They're not learning anything. They're just there to just a gigantic piss up, really. A lot of the degrees are what I call nothing degrees. Like I say, degrees in tourism. I mean, I believe one woman got a degree in Coronation Street or something. I mean, what is that? Yeah, Mickey Mouse degrees. Yeah, you could buy them off the internet. They're just about as much use. Oh, here's my Rosie. Hello, my darling. Oh, where have you been? Have you been sleeping on Grandma's bed? Hmm? Have you been sleeping on Grandma's bed? There, my darling. Rosie is my baby. They want triple pay. Oh, God, yeah, they don't do anything, do they? You can't get one to see you. Does anybody need a wee-wee? Eh? Rosie, do you need a wee? Is that what you've come in for? Do you want to go wee-wees? Excuse me, people. I think my animals need to go out. Yes, I know, sweetheart. Do you need to go wee-wee? Come on, then. Let's go wee. Yes, let's go wee-wees. Yes, good girl. Good girlie. You coming too? Yeah, come on, darlings. Leave her alone. Come on. Let's go wee. Come on, girls. Come on, girlies. Come on, girls. All right, sweetheart. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Next door's teenagers having a scream in the street. Upsetting the dog. Oh. I don't know what the girls next door are screaming about. I don't know why girls find it necessary to scream at the top of their voices. Well, we used to have people coming straight from university who couldn't fill the form in, for unemployment benefit. You do it all online now, but in the good old days, you used to get a form, like a booklet, fill it in, and they couldn't do it. They'd scrawl all over it saying, "Don't have a wife, don't have kids." And I used to say, if you read at the top, it just said, if you don't have a wife or a partner and you don't have any children, go to page such a thing. But they didn't read that bit. They just wrote all over saying, don't have a wife, don't have any kids. What are you asking me this for? That cocky little devils they were. Hi, Lulu. You know, if they'd have read the question, they would have known they didn't need to answer it anyway. It's like if nothing applies to you, go to the next. Oh, the girls next door scream. I don't know why they scream. I think girls think it's attracting the boys if they scream, but it doesn't. It just means that you wouldn't listen to them if they were being raped or something. You wouldn't listen because they're just screaming. It's upsetting my Rosie, that, all that screaming. I don't know why they squeal. Why do girls squeal? I think it's like attractive to boys if they squeal and they scream. And hi, Jill. Hello there. How are you? I've never been one for computer games, though. Wrong generation, I suppose, for computer games, is me. Takes me all the time to manage what I'm doing already. Yay! I'm not enjoying doing this fuzzy wool. I'll be glad when I've finished it. I'll be glad when I've finished it. I don't like music. I hate to tell you this, don't like music on videos. Especially when they go over the top of what, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Why should he have a 35 bedroom, 35 room place anyway? There's only him and his missus. Why should you have 35 rooms? Oh, you're giving the heart monitor a workout. Oh, you're going to sing and dance, Jill. Well, what's the point of Harry and Meghan having a place over here when they don't intend to come? No point. Just an empty house, isn't it? Yeah, why should Andrew have 35 rooms to himself? Well, no, I'm not in favour of Harry and Meghan keeping whatever it is called. Why should they? They live in America now. They don't need it. You can't keep a place open all year round just for them in case they want to come sometime. Go and stay in a hotel like everybody else. I'm not in favour of it. Yeah, what the heck does he need a place like that for? He should be in a 2-bedroom flat. He lives on his own, doesn't he? What does he want all them rooms for? 2 bedrooms in case one of the kids wants to come over, 3 bedrooms at a push. Yeah, hang on, the rest of the world's living in some people are having to pay, what is it, bedroom tax if they've got 1 bedroom too many. So if he's got 35 rooms, we should charge him 34 times bedroom tax, shouldn't we? He can't pay for it anyway because he's got his money cut off, hasn't he? So how's he going to pay for where he's living now? Can't afford it, can he? So he needs to go. Stick him in a council flat. You only need all those rooms if you're part of the royal family, and you might have to have guests. You know, royal guests or whatever, guests from other countries, but I take no notice of a lot of them. Let them do what they want. Not my problem. It's Charlie Boy's problem, not mine. I don't think he's as soft as the Queen was, though. I think he won't stand for any messing. You know, 2 strikes and you're out type of thing, you know. As I say, it's not my family, not my problem. Let them sort it out. I'm sure they will eventually. I don't think he'll be as soft as the Queen was, yeah. I think he's determined he's going to streamline everything and only have people in the royal family who actually do any work, yeah. You know, he's getting rid of the freeloaders, isn't he, you know? Well, Harry's a pillar killer, let's face it, so. People who like him in America can keep him. We don't want him. He ain't welcome here. He's a prime example of an overindulged child. He spoiled the... Yeah, and he should stay away as far as I'm concerned, Nathan. That was his decision. That was his decision. I'm not going to argue with him. Whatever he said, he can just stay away. I just don't handle all this argy-bargying and books and stuff. Go to America, stay in America, keep quiet, shut your mouth, fade away. That's my attitude. Your so-called Hollywood friends who don't want to know you anymore. She thought she was going to be Queen of the May, didn't she? But she didn't turn out that way. All the people, all the society people in Hollywood don't want to know them. Don't blame them because they don't want to finish up in a book, do they? Well, they're not hard done by. They've got enough money to last. They're not exactly living in a council flat, are they? Yeah, whatever went on in that family should just stay in that family as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to read about it and I don't want to hear about it. Family matters should stay in the family. Whoever was right, whoever was wrong, it should still stay in the family as far as I'm concerned. You know, the old story, you don't wash your dirty linen in public, do you? You sort it out amongst yourselves. I'm bored to death with them. I just wish they'd go away, fade into obscurity. I'm fed up with us hearing them. The press are making it worse, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a black sheep in their family, haven't they, you know? Everybody's got somebody in the family, like, they don't talk about, like, you know, we don't talk about Uncle Henry. But you don't plaster it all over the news and you don't write books about it, do you? You just, like, don't invite them to family parties anymore or Christmas. It's like, no, we won't invite Uncle Henry, you know, because he's, you know, you've all got a drunk in the family, you've all got a person who's can't keep their mouth shut that has to say something inappropriate. And we've all got one in the family, but we don't write books about it, do we? We don't slag them all over the papers. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't like it all. You think you're the drunk in the family. I don't know what I am in the family, the idiot, I think. The clown. I'm not the drunk anymore. Maybe the clown. Everybody's got one member of family, haven't they? We've all got one. Anybody who's not got a black sheep in the family is very, very lucky. Anybody who could say, "Oh, my family's perfect," must be joking. We've always got that one that we don't want to talk about. Yeah. Hey. Well, Trixie didn't go and have a wee because she got distracted by those silly teenage girls next door screaming. So I hope she doesn't do a wee anywhere. I don't fancy using the mop. I'll be glad when I finish this wool. I don't like it. It's not often I say I don't like ice yarn, but I don't like this one. It's very awkward to crochet with. It's sort of like stretchy and fluffy. Yeah. I mean, we've had a few people in our family we don't talk about, if you know what I mean, that have had slight brushes with the law. Fortunately, nothing too bad, but you know, of course, I am from a very, very large family. I should say that. So we're bound to have a couple of black sheeps amongst them. Oh, Jill will be following it. I haven't been following it, so I don't know what it is, but I'm sure Jill has. We tend not to follow American trials, really. Unless it was the O.J. Simpson. I think everybody followed that one, but mostly, no. We've got our own things to follow over here. Like that missing lady that turned up dead, and then that aristocrat and her sex attack boyfriend, and their babies died. They found the baby's body, so I've got enough over here. Yeah, we've had one over here, haven't we? Where I think he killed his wife and child, and then he shot himself or something. We've just had one over here, but now we're full of this who killed Nicola Bulley, and also this aristocrat woman who went on the run with her boyfriend, sleeping in tents with a newborn baby, and the baby's dead. So don't know whether it's manslaughter or what it is. I mean, the baby could have died of natural causes because it was so cold and it was in a little tent and it was only a couple of weeks old. But we'll still find out with the autopsy. It's very sad. The poor little child didn't have a chance, did it? It would have been a couple of months old, but they said it's been dead a while, so. A comprehensive school, they did away with the grammar schools. And their idea was that everybody went to the same kind of school. There would be no more elitism of people who passed and were brighter than the others, so therefore had a better education. The government that B decided that they would all be all on one level. And tragically, it's not really worked. The brighter people have been pulled down, I think. I mean, I was lucky I went to a grammar school and I had a very, very good education, but I'm glad I didn't have to go to a comprehensive, yeah. You see, our public schools over here are private educated schools, which is rather stupid. If you say you went to public school, it means you are privileged and your parents paid for you to go to school. Like most of our government went to public school, yeah. I don't know why it's called public school. No, it's definitely not prestigious. It's for the masses. It's like ordinary high school would be to you. Public school over here is private, like Eton or wherever, most people who are anybody kind of went to private school or public school, as we call it. I don't know why it's called public school. It's not for the public at all. Definitely not for the public. You went there if your parents had money and influence, and you put your name down for it when you were practically just newborn. You put your name down for Eton, Cambridge, places like that. It's the elite of schools, the elite of the. There are some, what do they call them? Where you can pass something, and you go, well, not for free, but you know what I mean. You get the fees paid, like a bursary or whatever. So some people do go to Eton, Cambridge, places like that go on a scholarship type of thing, yeah. But mostly they go because they get paid for by their elitist parent. Now, when I was at school, if you went to grammar school, I know it sounds awfully snobby, but you thought you were above people who went to comprehensive. Because we used to go on to the GCEs, GCSEs, and we used to go on to university, where it was very, very rare for anybody from a comprehensive to go. They used to be the, hate to say this, dumber end. But then the government decided at the time that there wasn't going to be no more grammar schools. There still are private grammar schools if people pay. They decided it wasn't fair that because some people were cleverer, they went to grammar. Yeah. But where I went to, the grammar school I went to, the people mostly went on to university, and most of them went on to have really high jobs. It was elitist because we did get the better tuition. We did get the best of everything. I mean, I was very, very fortunate. I think I was fortunate enough to go when it was a grammar school. And I did have a very, very good education. But that's just the way it was back in my day. But then they changed it all. There still are grammar schools, but you still have to, they're mostly private. You mostly have to pay now. But I think if my child had been bright, I would have done everything I could to get him out of a public school. Well, I didn't know she had 2 more kids. I mean, if she didn't want that little baby, she could have given them to her father or given them to anybody. Mm. I mean, if you say anything, you know, like even the GCSEs to me, they're a lower level than they used to be. They used to be very hard to pass a GCSE, and used to be even harder to pass your A levels to get into uni. But now it just seems like any man and his dog can get into uni. I think you should have different streams. I honestly do. It's not fair to the very bright kids to be pulled down by the ones in class who can't keep up. I know it sounds snobby, but you will always have distinctions in children. You will always have the bright kids. You will always have the dumber kids. And I don't think that you should penalise the bright kids by sticking them into a class with dumb kids. Their idea is that the bright kids will bring the dumb kids up, but it doesn't work. The dumb kids bring everybody down, yeah. Oh, you're going now. Bye now. Thanks for coming and joining us. So I think, you know, if your kid is bright, he should be allowed to be in a stream where they're given harder things to do. You know, they're encouraged to be more educated. That they shouldn't just be bunged in with all the rest of the dummies. People will find their own level. I mean, at one time it was a privilege to go to university. You were the top level if you went to university, but now every man and his dog goes to university. They're not bright. That's why we have Freshers' Week and they're all drunk as skunks and they're all rolling around. You know, they don't think they're privileged to go to uni anymore. They go to uni to have a good time. It'd be a great big piss up. You know, they don't go to uni because they want to be educated, let's say. They want a good job. They don't go there for that anymore. University educated people who have what I call a real degree. You know, the people who do medicine, other things like that, real degrees, but not degrees in tourism, media. I mean, so many IT students. Good grief, we don't need all these IT students. Yeah, university education these days means nothing. Unless you're doing, like I said, medicine, teachers even, what I call a proper job. If you go into university, get an education, like a lawyer, judge, things like that. Yeah, I'm all in favour of it. But not if you're going for some stupid, like you say, Mickey Mouse degree. We used to have the, what were they called? The colleges where you went, to learn things like plumbing and stuff like that. I can't remember what they were called now. They were colleges, they weren't universities. But they used to teach trades. You go for bricklaying, you go for joinery, you go for plumbing. I can't think what they used to be called when I was a kid. Technical college, that's the one. I mean, they need more of that because we need more trades. We need more tradespeople. Yeah, we need less nothing jobs and more people who do things with their hands, motor mechanics, things like that. Dentist. Yeah. A dentist. I mean, a doctor has to do about 7 years, doesn't it? A vet has to do even more, would you believe? A vet does more years than a doctor does because an animal can't tell you what's wrong with it. So a vet has to know more. I've seen some of the dumballs, Nathan, who's gone to uni. I mean, to be quite honest, in my day and age, they wouldn't have even got in college. How the heck they get into uni, I do not know. They can't spell, let alone do anything else. It used to be hard to get into uni. Now, it's not hard at all. And one time, if you said, I've got into uni, everybody would be, oh, got into uni. You must be really clever then if you got into uni. But now, oh, yeah, so-and-so's going to uni. As I said, their parents put up with it and they thick as two short planks. I was educated in a class of 40 kids. But in those days, we had respect for the teacher. What the teacher said, shut up, we did. But now, I mean, you couldn't teach 40 kids. You'd be like mayhem and bedlam, wouldn't it? But our teacher used to rule us with 40 kids in a class, and she used to teach us all. And we all got on, did what we were told, and everything like that. But nowadays, it's like you say anything. I mean, my niece is a head teacher, and you don't say anything to the kids because the mother's there at the door. Why did you say that to my son? Why did you say that to my daughter? They're not allowed to speak. You tell a kid to sit down, the parents at the door saying, "Why did you tell my child to sit down?" She runs around at home. Yeah, well, she shouldn't run around in the school. She should sit down and listen. But you're not allowed to say that anymore. You're not allowed to say, "Sit down, shut up," like they used to do with us. I can remember on one of my reports getting into trouble because the teacher had wrote, "We see more of the back of Janet's head than we do of the front." That was because I was always turning around talking. Yeah. I mean, now they put that on a school report. Well, Janet could do a lot better, but she doesn't apply herself. Yeah. I was always getting that on my reports. My mother used to go spare. I hate to say this, but I was a lot brighter than the rest of the kids in the class, so I used to get bored because they'd give me something to do and I'd have done it in half the time that they were taking. So I'd finish mine, what I was supposed to be doing, whether it was English, sums, whatever it was. I was bored because I'd finished mine. So I used to sit there staring into space or talking to my next door neighbour because I was fed up, because I'd done it. And half the time the teacher used to come up and say, "Have you finished?" And he would say, "Yeah, I've finished. I finished it ages ago." And she used to say, "Let me look at it. If you've got it wrong, you..." And then she used to put 10 out of 10. Because I had done it, so I got bored. So I was naughty in class because I was bored, because I was brighter than the others. And I used to get fed up with them when they used to be taking so long to do these sums or something. He said, "What's wrong with them? Why don't they just do them and stop messing about?" And I used to say that to my mum. I said, "Well, they're dumb. They don't do what they're told." And she said, "Well, they're not understanding. They're not as bright as you." Yeah. Were your schools approved, Nathan? Approved by the government? I wasn't particularly forward in class. It's just I used to get bored. I mean, they used to have me doing all sorts of things to send me out the classroom doing little jobs. I was ink monitor, and I used to go get the chips for the teachers or go and get boiled ham for the teachers because she knew I'd finished my work and I was just going to disrupt everybody else. So they used to send me out on errands. Nearly every lunchtime, I used to go out and get the sandwiches or something. Oh, bye, Seaside Mum. Bye-bye. I've got to put Trixie her knickers on to go to sleep. Behavioural, emotional. Were you emotional or were you behavioural? Which one were you, Nathan? I can't believe you were a naughty boy. You went to clean the erasers. No, I used to be ink monitor. In my day, the ink was powdered and you had to mix it up with water, which meant you get lovely blue fingers and sidewalks, pavements, yeah. Oh, ADHD. I don't think I had that. I was just a low boredom threshold. I had to be kept occupied, yeah. You're drawing plans to build a bridge. Where are you building the bridge? Across your land or? No, I think I had more confidence at 8 than I do now. People think I'm superbly confident because I chat on here and do everything, but I'm not in certain circumstances. I hate going to places where I don't know anybody. You know, I don't like walking into a room by myself when I don't know anybody. I think I was more confident at 8 than I am now. I was fearless, I think, when I was 8, yeah. Oh, to cross the river. Well, it does help if you have a bridge. Saves you getting your wellies out and wading across, doesn't it? No, my mum always used to say I should be on the stage because I had bags of confidence when I was a kid. I think that comes from your parents, doesn't it? If your parents are encouraging and they think you can do no wrong, you know. Well, they didn't think I could do no wrong. I used to get told off a lot, but you know, my mother used to be of the attitude like, you know, you can do anything in this world if you just apply yourself to it. And you know, she wasn't like a negative woman that, oh no, you can't do that, you're not clever enough or something like that. My mum was always, oh yeah, you know, of course you can be prime minister, of course you can be the pope, you know. She was always very encouraging. I couldn't be away from my family. That's why I never went to university. If I could have got in at Manchester, I would have gone to university, but I didn't want to go to Liverpool. I didn't want to be in digs on my own, you know. If I could have got in student hall, I would have gone. But student hall was full. I had to find my own accommodation, and I just didn't want to go and do that. Oh God, what did you do at 7.5? What did you do? Were you a little monster or what? My nieces had to expel somebody from her school. He was biting everybody and biting the teachers and kicking and spitting, and so reluctantly she had to expel him. He got put in time out that many times and it didn't make any difference. So, but she had to, you know, explain to everybody, the governors and everybody, why she expelled him. But he was being a little so and so, this kid. And his mother was, oh no, not my little boy. He's not like that. So he must have been doing something if he got expelled. They don't expel kids for nothing. What on earth were you doing, Nathan, to get expelled? I don't think they recognised ADHD back then. Not like they do now. They certainly didn't recognise anybody. They were just thought to be disruptive, and that was the end of it. Our schools were strict when I was young. You didn't dare go against a teacher. You didn't dare say anything out of place. You know, whatever the teacher said went, you know. You couldn't argue. You argued with a teacher, that was it. You know, you were dead in bother. But you wouldn't really. Well, I never did. I never argued with my teacher. Wouldn't dare. My mother would have knocked 7 bells out of me if I'd have argued with a teacher. Oh gosh, yeah, they all say not my kid. I had a friend like that. She was always up at school. They said this, they said that, they said the other, and I went, hang on a minute, we're talking about one of your kids. And she'd say, yeah, what? I said, you know what she's like? She is like that. So why would you go on and say to the teacher that she's not? And she goes, well, they're not talking to me like I said to her, I said, your daughter's a little shit. I said, what do you mean she's not like that? I don't think there was such a thing as Ritalin when I was younger. I don't remember any kids in my class needing it though. I don't remember having any hyperactive kids in my class. I remember having a couple of thick ones, but you know, the ones the ones with the candles and thick as two, yes. And we wouldn't have dared to do anything like that, Lydia. No, I'm a different generation. I don't think they'd invented Ritalin when I was at school. I mean, it must have been around ADHD, but we never knew nothing about it. I don't remember any kids being out of control, really. Maybe they just weren't at my school. We had a couple of naughty kids, but they were just naughty through doing stupid things, you know. I don't remember anybody having that kind of behavioural issues when I was young. As I said, maybe they just didn't come to my school. We had a couple of kids who were a bit naughty, but that's about it, really. We didn't have anybody who was disruptive and chucking things about around like that. I lived in a smaller village, maybe. We were fortunate that nobody suffered from it in our little village. It's not a village anymore, it's a town now because it's kind of grown. But when I was young, everybody knew everybody and there wasn't that big. Oh dear, got a sniff. I've got a sniff. Well, I've done one sleeve. I really don't like this yarn, but still. I've used it up. So now I've got one sleeve. Oh gosh, we couldn't do that. It was always Mr. and Sir. Couldn't call anybody by the first name. We might have done it behind the back. Our head teacher was called Richard Britton. And we used to call him Dickie Brit or Dickie Bird behind his back. But we didn't dare tell him that to his face. Oh gosh, yeah. You got you got threatened with all sorts. The school I was at, you got expelled if you were caught smoking. Oh, there was no such thing as homeschooling my day. I don't think any of our parents would have been equipped by. There was no computers, you see, so there would have been no facilities for homeschooling or anything back in the day. It's all a different thing these days. There was a smoking area. Oh God, no, we would have been expelled. We were told we would be expelled for smoking. We were very strict at my school. Very strict. It's funny though, you accepted it. They were so strict, but you accepted it. I mean, nowadays the kids question everything. They wouldn't get away with it today. The kids would be pushing the boundaries all the time. We didn't dare. It was a different regime. It was called respect, I think. We had respect for our teachers. We may not have liked them. I may have thought privately they were pillocks, but I mean, we disrupt them. Yeah. Zelda is making a video or a short or whatever it is saying, "Where's my crojo?" It's probably disappeared. Mine did about Christmas. I think we all lose our crojo at some stage in our lives. I got very despondent about Christmas, around Christmas. I'll probably do it again. If my craft fair is not a success, I will probably go into another slump. Feeling devalued, demoralised, whatever. Oh my goodness me. I think the only time we had a broken window at school was if the hockey ball went astray. Or you're moving books around. I wish you'd come over to my place and tidy up my she shed. Jill, it's in dire need. Sadly, I don't have anybody local. Who would come and help me. I do miss my Sue. I miss my Sue. She used to come and help me regularly, as did Kelly. But Kelly's busy working now. Sue lives in Scotland and Kelly's busy working. I know you would, Jill. Everybody that would help me lives in America. Or the opposite end of the country. And sadly, I don't have a spare bedroom to put anybody up. I can't invite anybody, if you know what I mean. We have no spare rooms. If we sorted out the snug and made it into a bedroom, that would be better, but we haven't. It's a nothing room. I want it as a craft room, but I know I won't get it. I want a little table in there and put my sewing machine in there, is what I want. And I know I won't get it if I mention it. It won't happen. They'll be saying, that's what you've got your shed for. But there are times when I do not want to be shut in my shed with a sewing machine. What do I want done? I want it not to be a nothing room. I want it to be a room that I can call a craft room, because they're not using it for anything at the moment. It's just a walk-through room. You walk through it from the hall into the conservatory. So it's only a tiny room, but it's got like a L-shaped sofa in, which takes up all the room. But I would have liked just some shelving on the shelving, and a little table. Don't need a big table, just a little table to put my sewing machine on, and a chair. That's what I would want. But there's no room because the sofa takes up all the room now, because it's one of those big, not L-shaped, like an E kind of shaped sofa. It goes like that all the way across. It takes up all the room in that room. It takes up everything, all the space. So there's no room in there for a table. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like rearranging it when they go on holiday. Getting a table and chair and rearranging it when they go away. And they'll come back to a completely different room. And they'll say, what did you do that for? I mean, I'd even thought of getting I've got like coffee tables in here, and they're low down, and I even felt like getting a small but tall table in here, like a round table or something that's like, the proper height, not. And then I've got a couple of folding chairs in the shed, so at least I could. Nobody sits on the the sofa. No, nobody does. It's just a wasted room. Nobody hangs out on the sofa or sits on it. They do convert it into a double bed sometimes when, my granddaughter and her son come. So sometimes it turns into sort of a bedroom, sometimes. But not often. It would make a great craft room. But no, they want me to use my shed. Oh, dear. And I don't want to sit in the shed and sew. It's only got one window, so it's dark. It's not like, Jill's she shed kind of thing, where she's got big windows and doors and stuff. I've got one little window, so it's dark in there. So, to sit and do anything in there, it's like sitting in the gathering gloom. I'd even thought about having a proper door put on there. Instead of a shed door, have a proper door put on that's got glass in it that lets some light in. So at least it would be, make a bigger space. It's got a table in there, but, the table at the moment's full of stuff because I've just dumped everything in. I think I mentioned on one of my videos. When I go across, it's cold and that, so I tend to just put the bag down or box down or whatever and just put it down in there instead of putting it away because it's so cold to linger in there. So I need to go in there and spend at least a few days in there, really, to sort it all out and reorganise it all like Jill's done. Reorganise her space. But it still isn't big enough in there. I would love it to be a proper crafting space rather than just a storage place. Yeah. I know I have too much yarn in there, but I am not prepared to just get rid of it and give it away or make blankets. Please, for God's sake, don't ask me to make a blanket. think I would rather set fire to it than make blankets. I've been asked to make cat blankets, dog blankets, blankets for charity. Oh, dear God, no. I am a creator. I'm not a blanket maker. I think it would put me off my crochet altogether if I had to sit and do that. I would just say, right, sack it all. That's what I would be like. You might as well just put me in a nursing home or put me in a rocking chair. Here, Mrs. Carruthers. Time to do your blanket. Would you like a cup of tea and a biscuit? I create. As my son would say, yeah, create a mess, but that's by the by. I've always been creative. That's why blankets don't float my boat. They're not creative, are they, blankets? They're like chuggity, 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 chug, chuggity, 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 chug. Cross the road, back again. Cross the road, back again. I just don't like them. You know, you've all got your nemesis, haven't you? What you hate to make. And I just hate blankets. I just hate them. I don't like them. I don't like doing them. I don't like making them. If you like doing them, that's your thing. Well, you say you hate making socks. I'll make a pair of socks any day. I have to have something with a shape. You know, I have to have something that goes somewhere, that finishes up as something. Oh, amigurumi. Oh, I detest amigurumi. Oh, my God. I detest them with a passion. Oh, Sophie's blanket, it would finish up as a square with me. Also, I hate the fact that every man and his cat's making them. I'm one of those kind of people. If every man and his cat are making them, I don't want to make one. I don't want to. I'm funny that way. I hate making what everybody else is making. It's like when people were making those scarves with pockets in. Eh, I didn't make one. No, I would make a scarf with a pocket in long after everybody else had finished making them. Yeah. Sophie's blanket gets on my nerves because every video I turn on at the moment, everybody's making a Sophie's blanket, and it's just like, make something else. Yeah. Why are you all making a Sophie's blanket? Why are you all doing one? Oh yeah, proper doll. I can't do anything with a face now. Yeah, I just don't understand why everybody wants to make the same thing. Why when somebody makes something, everybody wants to make it. They have a thing, don't they? You know, somebody will make something and yeah, I use a lot of vintage patterns and I use a lot of patterns that are in my head. You know, I don't like I just like to make garments. I just really do. I just don't like anything else but garments. Oh, Sophie's blanket. Every man and his cat's making it. The book costs about $20. You have to buy the book. So that puts me off for a start off. And then it's got more colours in it than you've got in the universe. No wonder it's called Sophie's Universe. Yeah, it's called Sophie's Universe, not Sophie's Blanket. But every row kind of is a different colour. So you'd have to buy all these colours because if you make it out of scraps, believe me, it looks terrible. I hate to say this, but I've seen some very awful looking ones where people have used their oddments and they just don't go. You'd have to think about the colours. You'd have to use right colours. Because if you're just going to use your oddments up, it's going to look like trash. And a lot of them do. I hate to say this, but I've seen a lot of them that look like trash. The gory, gary colours, and they look terrible. You have to have a theme, you have to have a colour palette, you have to have it nice, or it's just going to look dreadful. Yeah, the book costs about $20 and it's got like 100 pages and it's just one pattern. The whole book is one pattern, which is something else I object to. And as I say, I don't want one because everybody's got one. Oh, some of the colours are just, oh, God. One lady's making one and talk about psychedelic, isn't it? And it looks awful. And she keeps holding it up, saying how beautiful it is. And I'm like, no, it's not. It looks like you've just got every colour you've got in your scrap and chucked it at it, yeah. I hate things that don't have a theme. I do lots of things in multicolours, but I've got to have a colour palette. I've got to have a theme. If I don't have a theme, I can't do it, yeah. I'm weird, I know. Oh, she likes it. She thinks it looks lovely. I think it looks like the cat's thrown up on it, but... Degrease? No, I think she means decrease, not degrease. She's not a motor mechanic, yeah. No, I just love designing clothes. That's what I like doing. That's my thing. I know some people can't or don't make clothing. But that's my thing. I only think in clothes. When I'm thinking of designing, I'm thinking of things. My mind automatically goes to sweaters, cardigans, things to wear. My mind never goes into anything else. It never goes into handbags and stuff, which I wish it did sometimes. Yeah, I'm not keen on it either. It's too busy, isn't it? That surface. It's too busy. Too much going on. It would give me a headache. Oh, God, I would hate that on my sofa. Please, nobody send me one. I only think about making clothes. I started off as a kid making clothes. And that's what I've never made a doily in my life. I would love to make those like mandalas, those with frames around, what they call them? Dream catcher things. But I just cannot get into the sort of doily making theme. I just like making clothes and that's it. Oh, I've done loads of the virus shawls, but there's only so many shawls you can make in there. I used to wear a lot more shawls than I do now. I used to have them on the back of my chair when I lived on my own. Gigi used to like cuddling up, and I used to put the shawl around me and him. And we used to recline the recliner, and we used to have a couple of hours sleep every day in the afternoon. When it got to about 2 o'clock, he knew what time it was. And he used to climb on my knee. And I knew what he wanted. He wanted me to get the shawl, wrap it round me and him. It didn't matter if it was hot weather, he still wanted to be wrapped up in his shawl. And then we would have a couple of hours sleep on the chair. Yeah. I miss my little cuddle bunny. I can't cuddle with her. She's so heavy. She's got feet like a Rottweiler. Gigi was so dainty. He was really dainty. He didn't tread on you like a cart horse. She's like a cart horse. She won't sit still. Gigi used to climb on me and just flat out and go to sleep. I miss that little boy. I would have had a chihuahua any day, but my son didn't like them. In fact, I would have rather had a Rottweiler than this thing. Everybody's going, oh, isn't she lovely? And I'm like, no. She's a pain. I know Nathan likes them because he's got one, but I don't like them. They're not my favourite dog. She's got to wear these tonight when she goes to bed. This should be fun. Tricky knickers. Oh, it's got cactus on and all. And I hate cactus. Trixie tricky knickers. Oh God, all these poppers. How many poppers has she got to on? How many poppers? My God, how many poppers has she got to wear? There's poppers all the way across. Oh my lordy lord. Oh, I've never seen so many poppers in your life. Oh, I tell Rosie she's beautiful. Rosie is. Rosie's my darling. She's beautiful. Oh, Gigi. I'm so glad he didn't pass away when I was looking after him. Adjustable sizes are not, yeah. God, they nearly fit me then. Lord knows. What they called? Little bloomers. Oh dear. Not looking forward to this bit at all. What, not one bit. Putting them on her should be a work of art. At least if she pees, she'll pee in her pants, won't she? But they don't look as though they're waterproof, so maybe she should have plastic pants like they used to put on babies. If you remember, when babies used to have terry toweling. Oh, she's squeaking now. It's awful, isn't it, when you can't take to a dog? I really don't take to her at all. I could take her or leave her. I've never felt that way about an animal before. You know, like, oh, gold, yeah. No, she's got to wear them because she's in season, so I don't want her leaking on my bed. Apparently she's in season with 3 weeks or something. Oh, God. Hope we get a spade soon. Rosie's been spayed already, but Trixie hasn't. You got bit by a oh yeah, my cat used to bite everybody. My Rosie, I mean, I absolutely adore Rosie. She's gorgeous, but she won't let anybody in the house. We're always scared she's going to bite somebody because she's a vicious little monkey if anybody comes in the house. We've had her at behaviouralists, we've had her at puppy classes, and we can't get it out of her. Oh, when cats bite, by gosh, they bite. Hello, Susan. You're up at 6 o'clock. Oh, right. Have you been out on the town? Have you been out on the Raz? Up at 6 o'clock. What is it, car boot morning? Tomorrow? I could never do a car boot. A, I don't have a car, and B, I'd never get up early, you know. I'm no good with mornings. I don't do mornings at all. I mean, when the nurse was trying to arrange an appointment for me to go, she goes, 8 o'clock. I went, my face must have looked at her. Oh, you're taking Ray to work and then you've got the car boot. Oh, good luck at the car boot. Hope you do well. She looked at my face when she said 8 o'clock and she went, later then? And I went, yep. 8 o'clock? You must be joking. I'd have to stay up all night. Oh, when I was working. When I was working, I used to be up at 7. Up at 7 in the shower, do my hair, ready for work. I had to leave for like 8:15, yeah. Yeah, they have car boot sales here, yeah. You've done 2 cardigans today. Oh, you busy bee. Oh, you're still here and lurking, Lula. Right, okay. We'll be calling you, what's she called? Not Sylvia. What? Ah, forgotten her name now. Sheila. We'll be calling you Sheila in a bit if you're doing 2 cardigans today. Mind you, I used to knit quick. What am I busy with? Well, it was going to be a baby cardigan, but it's so little, it's going to be a dolly one, I think. I'm just using some wool up, and it's a bit fuzzy and it's weird, so it'll be a doll's cardigan. I don't know whether a premier'd want to wear this colour, though. It's a bit gary, isn't it? One never knows, though. African and Asian babies wear these bright colours, don't they? One never knows. Not that we have many in Fleetwood. I think it's probably going to be for one of those reborn dolls or something. I think that's probably what I'll advertise it for, a reborn dolly. Yeah, the hexagon granny cardigan. Where's she got? Oh, she's there. Do you want a dog, Susan? Do you want a dog? I'm in charge of a dog tonight. The circular needle cord broke. Oh dear. I don't use those things, worms. I call them worms. I don't knit with worms. Can't knit. I'm like Ephraim. I've got to have one needle stuck under my arm. I like Ephraim. We've got Ephraim knitting Aaron now. He sent me a picture the other day. He's knitting an Aaron. I've got one lady that comes to my knit club on a Wednesday afternoon. She knits Aarons for fun. I have to concentrate too much these days. I haven't got the brain power anymore. I used to be able to knit anything at one time, but now I've gone brain numb. Absolutely brain numb. I probably could if I sat and didn't do anything else, didn't watch the telly or didn't watch YouTube videos. I could probably concentrate on. I mean, at one time I used to knit Aaron and watch the telly at the same time, but, you know, these days, I think my brain's full. It doesn't work like it used to. I've got to the stage where I could. Oh, Denise is done. Yes, she has. She's done all cables. She's doing a pair of socks as well that's all lacy pattern, isn't she? I just can't concentrate these days. I really can't. My son does it every now and again. He does internet speed tests. I wouldn't know even where to start. There's not much you can do about it over here. You just have an internet provider and you just have to put up with what speed that it goes at. It don't make any difference. You know, if you have a slow provider, you have a slow provider. Am I on Virgin? No, I don't know what we're on. I don't know what we are on. I'll look at what it says on my router. It says 3, but I don't think we're on 3. No, it is. If you keep a count on your rows for your socks, and you provided your tension doesn't change from one sock to another. I know my son went by whichever was the fastest one for this area, because it changes, doesn't it, whichever area you're at? Yeah. Maybe we're on 3, I don't know. They pay the internet, I don't. It all comes out, well, I do pay, if you know what I mean. It all comes out the household bill. We share household expenses. You know, it was, rather than me pay for this, they pay for that, it was just silly. So I just give them a set amount each month and we just do all the bills together. That way it's easier. The only thing I pay for on my own is I pay the, what do you call it? TV license, yeah. Mind you, I should have had a free TV license, but then they changed it, didn't they? Was it last year or the year before? Once I got to 75, I think it was, I should have had a free TV license, but they stopped it. I don't think anybody gets them now unless you... I think you get a free TV license if you're blind, because, I don't know, you can still listen to it, I suppose. It's supposed to be 4G round here, but I don't think anybody ever gets the 4G. It depends on your area. I mean, when I was in Prestwich, I had BT and it was really fast. All right, so see you. See you before, Susan, if you want to swap that bag, yeah? Because I'll be going down Wednesday afternoon. I'll be going to that, you know, the knit place where I'm going to take the wool to. Yeah. I'll speak to you in the week, Susan. I stopped the Sky. I weren't paying £40 odd a month for Sky Telly. I believe it's gone up since then. I only had the basic. I didn't have movies. I didn't have sports. And it was 40 something pound a month. I thought you could stick that where the sun don't shine. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I wasn't using it. There's a couple of channels that I miss because I don't have Sky anymore, but you have to learn to live without them, don't you? I'm not paying £40 odd a month. Especially when I've had to find another 50 quid a month for my scooter. I'm certainly not in the market for any more expenses. I only have a set figure amount of money each month, and it won't spread around everything. So you have to decide which is the most priorities, which you're going to get and which you don't bother with. The Sky was one of the ones that had to go. Oh yeah, my Sky used to go out if it was bad weather. My telly used to go off. I had to cut down a tree because it was getting in the way of my Sky, yeah. What, darling? What do you want? What, sweetie pie? What? Come here. What do you want? What do you want, Rose? Rosie's just decided that, they're not coming back, and she's decided to have a little whinge. What do you want, sweetheart? Come here. Come here, baby. Rosie's my baby, aren't you, Rosie? You're my baby. Yes, you are. You're lovely. You're my gorgeous, aren't you, sweetheart, eh? You're my gorgeous. Eh? She is. She's my gorgeous. Oh, she's wandered off now. Come here. Rosie. Rosie, say hello. Come here and say hello. Look at that little face. She's beautiful. She's my beautiful. She looks like an old dog, but she's not even 2 yet. You're beautiful, aren't you? You're my beautiful girl. She says, Soddy, I'm going. Rose is my baby. But she's just decided that they're not coming back, and she's having a little whinge. She's a mummy's girl, unfortunately, is our Rosie. She misses her mummy. I don't know what she's going to do when they go away for a week. It's going to be fun, isn't it? I don't mind having Rosie, but pig face, yeah. Looking after her for a week is going to be a stress. She looks like an old woman. She needs grooming. She's down for a groom sometime in March. It's been too cold to cut all her hair off, though. Because they cut her right down to the wood, They cut it, all the curls. Well, she hasn't got curls, but all her scruffy hair. No, they're just fingerless gloves. I have extremely cold hands. I've got some compression gloves, but they're very tight. Yeah, she's got grey whiskers, bless her, and she's not even 2 yet. So she looks like an old dog when she's not. When she comes back, they'll cut all her scruffy hair. Her hair grows every which way. It looks like she should be curly, but she's not. I tell you, she's a street dog from Romania, so we don't know what she is. She's got lurcher in her, we do know that bit. Her sister was adopted by somebody down in London. They had a DNA test done on her to see what breed she was. And talk about Heinz 57 variety, wasn't in it. But one of them was lurcher. I mean, our vet had thought Patterdale, but she doesn't have any Patterdale in her. which is really strange because she does look like a Patterdale. Because they have that wild-looking hair. She's got poodle in her, I think, or something. She's got all sorts in her anyway. She's a bit of a, like I said, she's a mutt, isn't she? But that's what we wanted. We just wanted a street dog, yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where you going, Rick? Were you going anywhere nice? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I've done enough. She's a mixture, she is. But that's what we wanted. We didn't want a pedigree. We wanted a mutt. We would have had one from England, but we just couldn't get one. Honestly. You're checking out an event. Ooh. Why does that look one row shorter than the other when I've just counted the rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because it is a row shorter. You're checking out an event. It's been a long time since I've checked anything out. Can't remember what it's like to go out on a Saturday. And actually, I'm going out, but it's a Sunday, I think I'm going out. I'm going to a surprise party. Can't say too much. I don't think she watches me, but obviously I can't say anything because she might actually watch me. So I'm going to a surprise party. But it's on a Sunday. So if I say anything on here, it won't be a surprise, will it? Nobody ever throws me a surprise party. I thought they might have when I was 70, but no. No such luck. I've never had a surprise party, ever. Maybe when I'm 80. My lot are not surprise party people. You know, they arrange a party. Well, they don't arrange a party for me. Can't remember the last time I had a party. I think I was 40. The last party I had, and then I threw it myself. So it wasn't a surprise because I had to do all the catering. So it wasn't really a party for me. It was a party for everybody else, yeah. When you throw the party, it's at your house and you have to do all the catering. It's not exactly wonderful, is it? That was the last party I had. I think I was 40. We were supposed to have a housewarming party here, but it was when it was COVID, so we never did. Now it's a bit late. Can't have a housewarming when you've been here 2 years, can you? No, I've never had a surprise party. My niece is taking me out to lunch and dinner. I think my family took me out for dinner when it was my birthday, but it wasn't exactly a surprise. The only surprise I had was when they took me to see Funny Girls. It wasn't any special occasion. They just took me out because I said I wanted to go. And then I'd forgotten I said I wanted to go. So they just said, right, get yourself dressed up. We're going out. And I thought, well, where are we going? And they kept saying to me, have you no idea where we're going yet? Have you no idea where we're going? And I didn't until we pulled up outside. So it was kind of a surprise, but it wasn't a party, if you know what I mean. Well, I've not tasted gluten-free. I don't. I don't think I want to. I'm going to finish this sleeve. I've got one more row to do, and then it's time to put the girls to bed. Not that I'll get any sleep with pig face. No. Rosie's getting restless. She'll settle down as soon as I go to bed. She'll have to. She's got two choices, hasn't she? But when I finish this row, I'm yawning, so you'd think I would be tired. As soon as I get in that bed, I'll be wide awake. You bet your boots. Rosie, what you doing, honey? What you doing, sweetie? Eh? What you doing? Are you getting fed up now? Is it bedtime? Is it bedtime, Rosie? Grandma's got to finish this row and then we can go. Yeah, I know, sweetheart. You can have your treat. She goes out for her last wee and then she gets a dental stick treat, don't you, darling? And that's what she's waiting for. She knows it's bedtime. I know, chicken, it's bedtime, isn't it? Is it bedtime? She says, yes, it is, Grandma. I'm going to whinge now. Going to whinge until you turn the PC off and we go to bed. I know, darling, I know. We're going to bed in a minute. All right? No, don't rip me pattern up, chicken. I know it's a piece of paper and you love paper, don't you? I just rescued one of my splints before. I have to wear splints in bed on my wrists. And I just rescued one. She'd started chewing it. She's talking. Can you hear her? You're talking to me. I know. I just said I'd finish in this row. Finish in my row and then we'll go beddy bow, eh? Okay. The natives are getting restless. Oh, she knows what time it is, yeah. She knows it's past her bedtime. She normally goes to bed about 11:30. I know, chicken, I know. I'm coming in a minute. Just give me 1 minute. I've got to say goodbye to everybody. And then I'm coming and I'll let you out and then you can have your stick, yeah? Yes, you can. Oh, she's laid down now. She knows what time it is. She knows it's past her bedtime. Little one's fast asleep. Oh, no, she's not. She's woke up as well now. Didn't have a wee when I let Rosie out before. Little and didn't have a wee because she got disturbed by the stupid kids next door screaming. So we need to let you out, don't we, missus? So I've nearly finished this row and then I've got to go. So I've done 3.5 hours, so it's not bad today. Oh, Nancy, you're coming on and I'm going off now. I just said I was going as soon as I'd finished this row because my dogs... Oh, thank you. My dogs are getting restless. I'm in charge of dogs today. So it looks like I'm going off as soon as you come on, Nancy, but I'm very sorry. But I already said I was going before you came on. Right, I finished. I finished it. Bit jazzy, isn't it? Still a little bit jazzy. Right, people, I'm going to bed now. Well, I'm going to try to go to bed now. So I shall see you all in the week. I shall no doubt be doing a video in the week. And I shall see you all next Saturday. Yeah. Okie dokie. So everybody, bye now, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye now. Bye now. Bye.